I wanted to be like background fucking guy.
Would it be like using Southern words with like a non-Southern accent? Like
Probably.
when I say y'all, like that
going.
probably sounds really weird to somebody from the South that like y'all is part of their like indigenous dialect. You know?
I don't know. I use y'all.
I do too, but that's what I'm saying. Like we do now.
But I was in
But
the
there was
South.
a point in time when we did. Well, yeah. But,
You-
you don't have a Southern accent.
No, but
you
just
say y'all as
You're
a
just
Southern word.
appropriation.
That's a good preamble.
Yeah, no, this is about fun.
We're rolling whenever you
might
guys.
need to
Oh,
get
all
a
right,
little bit
cool,
closer,
cool.
I
He
think.
does. He
Move it
generally does
closer?
an intro, but I don't know.
I
what we're
wanted
gonna
to
do.
hear
How are we looking?
We're
How's
looking
my?
all good.
We only see 3 channels on there. Okay,
There we go,
cool.
there we go,
All right,
we're good.
cool.
He's an
The
audio
engineer
guy
in me
too.
came
He's
out
like-
for a sec.
yeah.
I was like, bro,
Yeah,
bro.
Before we start, yeah,
What program is that?
Ableton.
Are you gonna remix this shit later?
remixes.
I just have
Engineer
it already.
jokes, man. I'm
I've
sorry.
used Ableton in like 4 years.
That was a Logic.
I don't know
man.
what Ableton is, to be honest with you.
Ableton is just it's like Logic and GarageBand,
Combined.
but it looks like an old school computer program.
Oh, cool, cool.
And so it looks brutal as hell. Like when you first switch over and you're like, I don't understand this program at all, and then you're like, oh, this just doesn't have bells and whistles and little cute pictures.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
All right,
It's a
cool.
lot. People use it for like programming and like remixing a lot.
Yeah,
right?
a lot
that
of-
was
lot
kind of
of
its
live stuff.
primary focus, right?
Yeah, you can program a lot of MIDI live
Yeah.
and do a lot of interesting stuff.
I don't know how to do any of that stuff. That's why we have ProComp.
Wait, is Ableton and Ableton Live 2 different things?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Well,
we really took a dive there.
fuck you, Craig, and welcome back to the. I don't know what episode.
This is
105th?
104.
104th.
If you don't count your quick chat.
Yeah,
what did you
we're not counting that. The 104th rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron, Joey, Prokop, and me, Cooper. Joining us today, very special guests, Kevin Jibo, owner of the Nook, and Buddha Joe, the legend, back on Buddha Joe Comedy. We are at the Nook. Clearly, you can see the Buddha Joe logo in the background. Thank you guys for having us. How you guys doing?
Excellent. Excellent.
Doing
Fantastic.
great, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited
Happy
to be here.
Yeah, Jinx.
Yeah.
You owe me a beer.
All right.
He got you.
Oh, nailed it. Thank you.
Joey and Aaron can't join us. Joey fell in love with a lady of the night in the red light district and chose to stay in Amsterdam. And then Aaron was captured by Irish customs as a feared Mossad agent. They are confused why he keeps coming back to Ireland. He's been there 12 times this year. So he's in customs still,
Trying
stuck
to get
over in
that
Dublin.
citizenship.
So it's just us today. Very special episode. This mic keeps moving. I should stop touching it. I might just hold it. I'm just going to hold it.
Just do what you want to
I
do.
like it.
Anyways, this is a great spot. Best comedy place that you've never heard of out here in Westfield. Kev, how did you get to owning this place? When did you buy this place?
It was 4 years in October. I used to come here to go see like bands play. When I was younger, there was a bartender here who would book bands and they would play up in the front. And then through like kind of random circumstances, the owners wanted to retire. The people who like had owned it since the 30s, the same family. And I was working at a restaurant with a buddy of mine who's one of my business partners now. And they knew him through church. And he had also helped another restaurant in town open as a consultant because he had been working in the restaurant industry for a long time. And so sort of word got out amongst this little group of people that they wanted to rent the Nook out. And he got off the phone call from finding that out and turned to me in the kitchen of the restaurant we were both working at, was like, do you want to open a bar at the Nook? And I was like, in Westfield? Because neither him or I had lived in this town. Well, I've never lived in Westfield, but my wife is from town, and he grew up here, but he hadn't lived here forever. And I was like, I don't know, man, that's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. And I hadn't been in here in probably a decade. So we talked about it a little bit, and he was like, let's just go look at it. We went and looked at it. And we were just kind of immediately like, holy shit, like this is fucking amazing. Like none of the architectural like weirdness and like quirkiness of this place had stood out to me because I was just there watching a band in the front. There was 1,000 people here, and then I just left. I wasn't even old enough to drink at the time, so I don't even remember the bar necessarily, you know. And the second I saw the space, I was just like, oh my God, like, yeah. Talked to the landlords, and they were like super cool, and it was really affordable. So we initially partnered up with the other guys from the business in town. And, you know, none of us had like a ton of money. We opened the place for like practically nothing, like less than most people put down on their house mortgage, you know. You know, it was like rough going in the beginning, but once we started doing this stuff back here, like music and stuff like that, it started to get really, really, really pick up. And then the pandemic hit about a year and change. And a lot of the other owners didn't live in this area. And they also were like the same people who co-own the other business. So once everything like became really uncertain for restaurants, I actually bought out all of those other partners, and the one guy from that other business that worked or still lived locally bought out all of those guys in the same time period. And now, like, you know, there's 3 of us here. I'm the primary owner, and then there's 2 other business partners, Rose, who you guys know, and my buddy Dustin, who we opened it together. And then the burrito shop is just down to the one local guy and his other family members that run it with him. So it's like, we both came out the other end, like out of the meat grinder. Like, it's just a way better scenario.
Nice.
And then, you know, post the pandemic, you know, Buddha Joe had done a comedy show earlier here.
It was right before
the pandemic.
Right before
I
the
think.
pandemic.
It was
And like
one of
my
the first shows you ever did.
The first show I've ever legit done.
Was like one of our first comedy shows here.
Yep.
And then the pandemic hit, and we didn't start it till the open mic was a year in August. So we took a pretty long break from it, but now we've never missed a week or anything like that.
Not one fucking week, man.
So what made you guys kind of like partner together? Was there anything in particular that was like drew you guys together, or was it just kind of a mutually beneficial?
We met from you coming in and just like hanging out at the bar for a while, and we had some sort of like weird peripheral connections. We knew, like, happened to just know some of the same people, and he worked at a bar up in Northampton that I used to go at.
Yep.
And then I don't remember how the comedy thing came up. It was something that we had just started doing.
Yeah, I approached you. I remember approaching you about starting an open mic.
Okay.
You know, and about a year and a half into comedy at that time, maybe a little less. And I think what I remember the most about that is talking to you and vibing on kind of being aligned. Like, yeah, we want to do this thing. It's going to be cool. It's going to be quirky. And we just pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
So
That's like the cool thing, like just even like watching you guys talk, how you're doing like the flea market outside that you were thinking about. It's really cool that you guys have a place like this where you can kind of like throw ideas like that at it and kind of work. This is a really cool spot.
I mean, we're lucky in that it's like an affordable place to run. It's not huge, so we really only need a small staff. We have a really small menu. We keep our overhead low, or as low as possible. So we have a lot more leeway in what we can try and fail at.
oh, amazing, yeah.
But we try not to fail. You
Yeah,
know what
obviously,
I mean?
obviously,
But,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but it's, you know, we have enough. We
But
have
you
a
need
little more
that room.
flexibility than a
Yeah.
business that has expectations of making like huge sums of money and sort of like subscribing to like an infinite growth model.
Yeah.
We can just get busier, but with this place at capacity, I still only need 4 staff members.
That's great.
So there's only going to ever be so much money made
Yeah.
out of this
Yeah.
place.
We've talked about it before. Like, you said, we're not getting rich here.
No,
like,
it's not even mathematically possible to get rich out of
No.
an 85 capacity bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you want to be open at like fucking 8 a.m. every day until 2 a.m. every night.
Yeah.
And even still, at that point, you
Even
still got
then,
overhead costs
yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
Nope.
Like, it's not possible.
Yep.
But
And-
I'm okay with that.
Oh no,
You
this
know?
is perfect, man. For me, comedy. What is it? This month will be 3 years in, or maybe I don't know what date. 3 years in, right?
About, yeah.
So I love it. I quit a federal job to do this. My mental health is way better, but I will say that I never want to. Like, I'm not seeking fame or money. Just to choose, as you said earlier, to choose something that you want to do and to survive. Maybe not, super rich, but to live. It's fucking beautiful, man.
In reality, would you have ever been rich from your federal job?
Yeah, no, fuck
Yeah,
that.
well, exactly. So it's like one of those things that you kind of like broke free and now have the freedom to kind of do whatever you want. And being creative and stuff like that, that's such like a great outlet to do. You know what I mean?
This is the best thing I've ever done in my life.
What was your federal job, if you don't mind me asking?
I worked in the VA. I worked logistics, so basically glorified warehouse person. And I'm not going to get too far into it, but the people are not the issue, but like the big bureaucracy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because people there genuinely do care, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But working there, man, it was just the straw that broke the camel's back, dude. So I did this, and here we are. So
It's great, man. There you go.
That's a success story you want to hear.
well, no, I'm broke, so but I'm happy.
Well, that's what
important.
matters. Yeah.
So,
My wife also bankrolls the most of my existence.
Well,
fair enough.
That's a dream. You're a feminist. See, I'm a feminist
Exactly.
as well. My
Yeah,
girlfriend's
hell
at law
yeah.
school right now, studying while I'm doing a podcast. I'm
Yeah.
watching that, you know what
I
mean?
wish she fucking looked at it like that. Can you tell her actually?
I'll talk to her. I'll talk to her.
yeah,
Yeah,
Send
yeah.
her the link.
See, I'm a very good
Hold
salesman.
on, I gotta call her.
I was selling people on Taylor Swift the other day too, because I said,
love Taylor
You
Swift.
got. Well, I mean, you got to look at it.
Get any tickets?
Yeah, dude, I actually just took out a mortgage on my house. I scooped 2 ticks.
Yeah, my girlfriend got, like, I was the only one who got one of the pre-sale links, so I was over in Amsterdam walking the streets, like, trying to fucking reload the queue the whole time.
Did you get them?
She got tickets, thank God. If I didn't get tickets.
Nice.
If
I
she
mean,
didn't
I
get
like
tickets
Taylor
for the
Swift,
show,
like
that would have been fucking
vibing.
it, man, I think.
You're driving home, sunset, whatever. You blasting it. I don't know if I would go to the concert though.
See, I hate to say it, I would go to a Taylor Swift concert. First
You
off,
are going. It sounds
I'm
like
not,
you are
I'm not
going.
going. I'm not
It
invited. She's
sounds
bringing
like
a
it's going to
friend.
be such an event.
Oh
like,
shit.
I'm not. Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be such an event for this tour that I'd be like, I want to go and
Five
see.
albums.
I want to
Five
see
albums.
the Mania.
She hasn't
Yeah.
toured in 5 years, so she's got
Oh,
5
is that
new
why
albums.
everybody's
Yep.
okay?
Oh yeah,
and it's
wild.
gonna be all like that new like fucking like I'm like indie rock
The
Taylor
80s,
like sort of
yeah.
thing, 80s shit. Oh my god,
She's got the
yeah.
folklore stuff. She got she's all over the place.
Yeah.
You got
I've actually never listened to any of that shit.
really.
Yeah, I like
worth
the.
it.
Yeah, me either.
I don't listen to it on my own.
I like Fearless, dude. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
I-
Red.
the good Taylor.
well, Jake
Good
Gyllenhaal's
shit.
the devil, so him and John Mayer on my shit
Oh,
list
yeah.
now. You gotta,
Dear
gotta
John, that's a fire track,
dude. She put out a 10-minute one now. There's on the new album, fucking wild. Went after it, said how she took his.
on Taylor's version.
Oh no, on this new album, whatever it is, Midnight. She talks about how he took her virginity and stuff like that.
John
and-
Mayer did?
Yeah, yeah.
What the
And
fuck?
she's like, give it back, John Mayer. You were 38.
I don't know about you
18,
guys. I
it was
could
nuts.
shit on John Mayer for hours.
No,
Well,
he wasn't 38.
Yeah, he was old, man.
He
was,
was
not young. Yeah,
He's
it was about a
he's an
20-year
old dude.
difference.
He's naughty
He's
boy,
playing with the
huh?
dead. He's an old dude.
Yeah, he's
that's
he's
true.
not a young
That's
guy.
true.
Yeah,
Wow, he's a fucking randy one, huh?
he's dating someone young now too. Again, I mean, at the end of the day, he's a celebrity, but he hasn't learned his lesson. I mean, what are you gonna do?
He's got a young man's mind, I guess. You know
Yeah,
what
I guess
mean?
so.
He
He's
just-
young in spirit. He got famous
Exactly.
young, and that's
yeah,
you gotta
he's
get it
stuck
stuck.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
that's the excuse I would go with if I was.
one thing I will say, and this is to the viewers: if your girlfriend does like Taylor Swift, stop fighting it. I just don't get it. Like there was
Just
this guy I
embrace
was at
it.
a party, and he's like, "Well, all of their songs are about the same thing." I'm like, "Well, that's her perspective." And I was
Have
trying
you
to
heard
like, you gotta stop.
songs? They're all about fucking.
Yeah.
It's all-
There's like 3 things.
Any genre.
I'm like,
Have you
who do
listened
I'm
to
like, who do
Jay
you
Z?
like?
They're all about
Yeah.
the 3 same gangbang.
He's like,
drug
getting
dealing,
the money.
drug dealing.
That's
and
how I won him
making tons
over.
of money.
Yeah,
It's
I was
awesome.
like, who do you
Bitches.
like? And he's like, Freddie Gibbs. I'm like, isn't half of his stuff about like shooting people and selling crack and stuff? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just like she writes about breaking guys' hearts and not thinking she's the problem.
Yeah.
But I do like how she said once. She did say once this album that she is the problem. She's like, maybe it's me. 10
Oh, I
albums
think
later.
I saw a video that has a song. That song has a video. I think I saw it.
Yeah.
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 I was like, it probably is, but like, it's kind of everybody.
She's got to be
right?
at fault a
Yeah.
little bit at some point.
Yeah,
You got to
She'll
take a
find
little of the
somebody
blame.
she's compatible with.
She
that
did now. She has
like
some
her
British guy.
problems. You know what I mean? And then
Oh, the
she likes
British-
his problems, and then
British.
everybody's, you know.
Yeah, I hate British people, but yeah.
She's got a British guy, British
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Are we good to
What's
smoke
his
this
name?
thing?
Yeah, we can smoke
Fuck
that
yeah,
shit.
fuck yeah.
You got to. Oh, let me grab an ashtray.
I can Ashton my Zin. Dude, the fucking citrus is like sucking on lemon heads. You ever had one of these, dude?
Oh, was that caffeine pouch?
No, it's a nicotine pouch, dude. It's unreal. Scandinavian.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Scandinavian.
This saved me from
Yeah,
ciggies.
take one.
I don't want. Well, maybe I will do. one.
Yeah, try one.
You ever
you know,
do-
like the
ever do
lemon
dip?
heads, the candy.
Yeah. I used to chew.
I used to
Yeah.
chew too. I had to quit.
So
I never did dip. Well, I did dip one time in the army. Puked everywhere.
So you did Redmonds then, like the choo
Redmond, beech nut, all that
Oh,
good shit.
I can't do
dude.
that
Oh,
stuff.
that shit was way easier.
I like dip. Cope Southern Blend was my shit. I miss it every day, daily. I think about it when I wake up.
Coke.
Zin like
Coke menthol.
snooze? Is it
Wintergreen.
like those little pouches?
So it's just like a little pouch of mystery
Yeah, it's like
concoction.
snus.
they call it nicotine salts, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yo,
It's
that
random.
term
I might do
sketches
one,
me
but I'm not
out.
gonna do
Oh
one.
yeah, I mean this is the same thing with the vapes.
My
and stuff,
brother
like,
does
other
these
than
things. Let me see what they look like. I'm not gonna put
Yeah,
that
no,
in my
no.
body ever. But
that. Well, look at you, dude. You're so much better than me. See, I don't do the normal ones now. I like space drugs, to be honest.
gotta pull
with
it
you.
apart.
You gotta
I'm
pu-
sorry,
you
I
gotta-
only do
We
earth
have this
drugs.
bit. We might pull it.
How the fuck do you
I
open
can't-
this
I
thing?
know
It's
my
childproof.
phone-
I'm
my phone's on
sorry.
the camera. But we love looking at Reddit pages, and there's one called RCs
Yeah.
for research chemicals.
Oh shit.
And there are some crazy people who just don't want to like
Yeah, this is
smoke
you know, like
weed.
lemon heads, the candy?
We're having
Yeah.
two conversations
Yeah.
right now.
I don't buy the ones in mass anymore.
Is
if
it
it's not
like, can
flavored.
you get like that? Are you gonna have to go to like a middle school with your jaw taken off later if you
I
do
don't
that
know.
shit?
I don't know.
The jury's
you
still out.
swallow. You gut this. It's not like dip where you spit, so you
What?
swallow it. So I'm a little bit afraid of like throat cancer or something. But definitely dip fucked up my teeth. I did it for 2 years. I got up to like 2 tins a day.
Never done
and
dip.
That's when I started getting cavities. Is when I started.
I brush my
Yeah.
teeth after these
I
guys
smoke
sometimes.
butts, you know, like a
Well, that's
fucking
still, yeah.
champ, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Honestly,
But-
I think like we're getting to the point where I think old tobacco. We're going back to it. Right?
Dude,
It's not
butts
that
are
bad.
coming back. Well, it's
Butts
hard
are
in
coming
Westfield,
back.
though. Westfield's like the only town I've ever been to where just like normal ass upper middle class adults still chief heaters.
yeah.
It's so crazy. Like the weirdest people that you would never guess are like, oh, I'm going out for a cigarette, man. And I'm like, all right, dude, like coaster their drink, whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's so fucking strange. I'm like, that guy's like a lawyer.
yeah.
He's like smart. And he's just like ripping fucking Newports out there.
I think that just
Sick.
goes to show like how much everyone else hates it. Like no, like we don't like being here, so a cigarette's gonna help it out.
Let's just help this out. Yeah,
the
people
process
do
up.
hate Westfield.
Also,
Oh,
Westfield.
not Westfield. I mean, just life.
No, but you tapped into something. You sussed it out
I
pretty
was just
quick.
gonna say
dude. This-
Westfield is a fucking anomaly.
It's
It's
it
an
has a
interesting place.
locally Westfield has a reputation that I will say is largely undeserved and more
Yeah.
just a matter of jokey convenience, a la like childhood Polish jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like kind of at points in time been like a local problem child, but some of it was just like infrastructural shit that was just
yeah.
like annoying to go to Westfield because it had either this one long ass road on one end
Yeah.
and a 2-lane bridge with like an enormous industrial park also using it
Yeah.
to get from here to the Pike when before they redid this bridge would literally take 45 minutes.
Yeah, dude. It would take me
That's
longer
wild.
to get out of Westfield, but once I got on the highway from in Springfield to Hartford, was quicker sometimes in getting out of
Than
Westfield.
getting out of Westfield. Yeah.
That's wild. Like
Yeah.
half the reason you live this far away from like actual normal society is to get around places quicker.
The city got a grant, like probably like what 7 or 8 years ago, that they redid the bridge. So they took the old one, and they had to like annex a bunch of properties and shit to do this. I don't know how the fuck they pulled it off, but they took the old bridge and made that like a 2-laner, and I think expanded it a little bit, and then they put in a whole secondary one, and they split the road to go 2 one-ways. But there used to be a fucking neighborhood where one of the roads was,
Oh shit.
or something. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
They relocated.
And then
those people.
I don't know what the hell they probably just bought the properties, whatever they needed to. Then they put in this rotary over here, and it's like a bazillion times better. It was
yeah.
when we would play we would play in a band. We would load up in the center of town sometimes in Westfield, and say we were playing Worcester. It would be like from here to the Pike would be 45 minutes, and then from the Pike to Worcester 45 minutes. Like half the journey was fucking driving out of town. It was like 3 miles.
Dude, that was like when I went to school up in North Adams, for my first semester, and then I'm like, I need to be the fuck out of this place. But you like anytime you leave town, it was like 45 minutes because you had to go around Mount Greylock. I'm like, this is the most inconvenient thing.
Crazy,
go
yeah.
up and over the fucking mountain. I don't get it. They're
road.
bad engineers, but
Well, I mean, a lot of that is conservation land and shit, so you
fuck
can't.
it.
But you know,
Yeah.
Fuck
tear
that
it
mountain,
down,
bro.
Yeah, tear it down. But
Tear it
dude, I
down.
still the
Pave the
roads in
world.
Westfield are nuts. I still remember when I was going up to like there was one day I went out to Richter's house to do his podcast.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
by the
And I
college?
went down that road right by the college, but it was like fucking Cambodia, dude. The roads were like bombed the shit out of.
Oh,
it. I was
yeah.
like, what
They-
the fuck
I think they
happened out
redid
here?
them now,
potholes,
but-
dude. They just
yeah.
paved that.
I
But
think
yeah,
my car's still fucked up from
that's
it. I've
the
never
other
hit
thing.
potholes that
Westfield
hard.
notorious for like bad road. Like it's just
You're up by the
it's
ocean.
better
There's no
now,
reason
but
the roads should be
locally it
bad.
just had a region, like a reputation of a town that was just kind of like fucked up, like Ware or something. It was like Ware. Or,
Wow, really? I didn't know. I would never have
People
moved
just-
to Westfield.
What?
I would never moved here if I knew that.
Right. It just had a
No.
bad rep, but it was all just kind of like for no reason. Like not no reason, but just like
Yeah.
minor annoyances. But then the other thing that's cool about it is that Westfield
good,
has
bro?
like a really high proportion of like businesses that like are like long running family businesses,
Yeah.
and like the town just had its like little shit that's here, that's been here forever. Like this
Yeah.
place has been a bar since 1937.
Amazing.
In most towns, it would have been gutted and renovated like 300 times since.
I was
then.
gonna ask
Yeah.
when you
Oh,
bought
no,
the bar.
yeah.
Is this like original? Did you change anything when you bought it?
There was like some wallpaper that we took down and replaced with paint because it just like didn't fit like our vibe. And then we kept a small percentage of decorations. They had a lot of like sports memorabilia.
Okay.
They had like some TVs. We took those down. And we brought in our own wacky decorations. I
was gonna ask where
but
you got
it
all this
wasn't,
shit.
I have like a huge problem with collecting objects.
Interesting.
I just like buying like I don't know, like folk art and
Like,
shit like
so-
that.
My mom's mom used to do that, and then she put it all in one of the rooms of our house, and then she just put a sign that she pretended to sell antiques, but she would never sell
Sell
them.
anything,
Yeah,
yeah.
people would come in, and she'd be like, "Oh, this like piece of plastic is $150."
Yeah, I'm lucky that I own like my house. I have a house that's like decorated like my wife's has very similar taste that I do, so that helps.
That is good.
It's decorated similar to this, a little less chaotic, and then I have this whole space, so it really works out nicely. Because like I own the place, nobody could tell me no. Anyways, now you know what I mean. So by the time I'm done, there's gonna be no fucking wallpaper showing in this motherfucker. Hopefully.
Well, dude, you came back from Vegas and you gave me a little. Hey, man, here's like a nipple shot.
Oh yeah,
glass thing I
that
found.
titty shot. Yeah.
Titty shot.
Thanks. I left it here. I was like, it should live here.
Yeah.
Titty shot.
I just see like an object, and I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
And I go like, I'm just gonna fucking buy it. You know.
There you go. Boom.
I have. There's basically 100% of the time there is something I've bought for the bar in my car that I've just been too lazy to bring in.
Yeah. Well, dude,
There's
even
3
you,
things in there right now.
you bring in records. Andy brings in records.
The records are dope. I love
Oh,
the
thank you.
records. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
You
like
play the records on the like surround and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, and I never
Nice.
really sold any records, so aside from like special cases where I had some dumb limited edition thing that I was like, this is like not practical for me to keep this, knowing how much it's worth, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been buying records for so long that once we started to do the record thing, I already had like 1,000 records or some crazy shit like that, and we would just bring a ton of stuff in, and then you kind of go through every month or so, pull out all the shit you never listened to, and that
Yep.
makes room for new shit, So the collection is constantly like evolving and like shrinking and expanding
Becoming
and
more
shrinking and
refined, though,
expanding,
more-
getting
more
more
potent.
refined, more potent. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
It's like,
Like it.
our slammer percentage is like real nice
You got
right
some
now.
really good
yeah.
albums in there.
Yeah, it's a fucking strong collection.
Oh
I
yeah.
I saw
It
that.
was always one of my
What,
favorite
what year
things.
is that Some Girls record that I saw in the front?
I don't really know. Like, I like collect records in the sense that I like because I love
Oh,
listening to music.
You're not like a Discogs
I'm
nerd?
not like so much of a Discogs guy. I will if I like come across a record that I'm like, I think this might be worth a bunch of money. Sometimes you can just
Yeah.
look at a record and you're like, this
Like
is
my-
something. I'll
like
go
my
look it up.
prized
but-
one is like a Beastie Boys License to Ill, like original pressing. So that's like my prized one.
Okay.
That's it. Like it's got the
the
Def
most
Jam
expensive
sleeves.
record I own is a LP by this band called what are they called? Is it Chocolate Watch Band? It's
Never
like
heard
a weird
of
like
it.
psych band.
Oh, word.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's
the
fucking
fucking,
lit.
I'll show you it later. It's really fucking wild. It's good, and it's worth like $300 or some crazy shit like that.
Wow.
I had just heard of it and heard it on Spotify or whatever and found it at a tag sale. I never had any reason to like know that it was like crazy rare, you know? And then a buddy of mine who's like a gnarly, like his collection makes mine look like a fucking pile of shit. This dude's record collection. He was like, where the fuck did you get that? And I told him, and he was like, what the fuck? And he like showed me how much. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. He's like, don't leave that out.
Don't play that one.
Yeah.
I brought
even
in.
play that one.
It's got like fingerprints and shit on it now. I feel like an
What did I
idiot.
bring in? I brought in Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, yeah, you did us the 36 Chambers for our birthday.
Because it wasn't here, and I had it at home, and I would listen to it occasionally on like this record player I found at Goodwill, like for $30. That had like a little speaker in it.
Yeah, dude, here's a
Just-
plea to anybody. If
boom.
you have dope records and you come here a lot,
Bring them in.
just bring them here. Because I know you fucking drink way more than you sit at home and listen to records. So then you can just give me them,
That's
and
not
then
my
you can
reason.
listen to them here while you're drinking. Mm-hmm. You know?
What if I drink at home though?
People always drink at home and watch TV, though, right?
That is true.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Do
You
they?
only sit around like with the record player and like a glass of wine for like an Instagram picture, and then you like
It's only
I
for.
put on
It's
fucking-
barely even for
CSI
one side.
Miami.
Some
Yeah,
people let the side play out and then it's over.
I don't
yeah,
like
I'm
listening.
flipping all night, dude.
I can't do it alone.
I listen to records for like 40 hours a week. It's kind of
beautiful.
crazy.
That's beautiful.
I don't
That's
actually
a
listen to
job.
music
Beautiful.
when I'm not at work at all anymore.
Oh, really?
Just podcasts.
wow.
I can't do it. Like, sometimes like I'll drive home and I'll be like pretty stoned and I'll be like super vibing on what I was listening to.
Yeah.
And I'll like pick it up and listen to it. But generally I only listen to like I get out of work, I'll listen to like podcasts, and then I don't watch TV much really. I'll usually just sit on the couch, like browsing,
Scroll.
like reading Reddit and listening to a podcast and like processing.
Oh, no, I
fucking
do that same
neither
thing.
of the things that I'm doing at all. You know.
I get sucked into TikTok now. That's what I do. I fucking
I've never.
TikTok.
oh
yeah,
man, dude, it's
I don't. It's not for
it's
me. I
wild.
don't think.
No, I mean it's not for anybody, dude. It is.
It's not good
If
for
you get
anyone.
locked in for like 45 minutes
It's for
of like
the fucking
I get
CCCP, dude. That's who it's
100%.
for, bro.
I get Hicks.
No, they're
I get-
using it on you. That
using you.
I get-
Using your TikToks against you.
I
get
agree.
corporate boss babes who talk about their job and they're like, "Oh, I'm a boss bitch in New York," and I'm like, "Word, good for you. I'm a feminist. I like that stuff." I get this guy who has Down syndrome who reacts to every sports game possible, so he has like 100 videos a day of just going, "What happened?" Like it's the funniest shit. I'll have to
Is
show
it
you.
like
His name is
algorithm
James
driven?
Oh yeah, it's
So
like
this
the
is what
best.
you're like. This is what our cyber gods have told you wanted to see.
Oh no, I mean it is what I want to see.
that's
It's right.
pretty wild.
That's why.
insight.
That's why
Is the algorithm doing a good job?
it's a good job because it will give you what you want, so you're sucked in, and then it will give you like what they want. They'll give you a few like conspiracy. I get a lot. So this is what I wanted to ask
I
Buddha.
want to look at your TikTok.
No, please don't. But I wanted to watch. I don't
was
get
wondering
booby
what was
girls on my
going on
TikTok.
there.
I will say.
Is
But,
there nudity on TikTok?
Basically.
That's not
But
what I
it-
asked.
But if you
is
don't,
there nudity on?
No,
like,
no. Like
Okay.
but it's like it might as well be. But
Okay.
I
don't know.
they'll give you like, so I get a ton of the like the toxic man stuff, like all women are fucking after you for your money and stupid shit, because it'll like it'll be like,
Is it
good
okay
videos
that the
I wanna
computer
see.
screen is off?
It's good. It's just
cool.
on sleep.
Okay, cool.
But it's nuts. They'll give you some little propaganda in there, or they'll be like, "Oh, look at the U.S. bombing like people in Afghanistan." I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then it's like, "Oh, a guy with Down syndrome reacting to sports games." And I'm like, "Oh, that's what I wanted to
There's
see."
like news on TikTok.
oh yeah, there's like
Like a news channel has a TikTok and they're just posting.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
banging out
CNN's
little
got a
yeah,
TikTok.
but what happens too is there's these
Fox News gotta
there's a
have a
few
TikTok.
commentators who have like had their own like following for a while, and then they got so big on TikTok, like they definitely got like paid by the CIA. Now they're like, oh, like talking about like how like Russia has no army and stuff like that, and I'm like, all right, guys. We know, like the guy calls him Sad Vlad. They basically like hype him up to get us to the brink of nuclear war. I'm like, guys, enough with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go back to telling
Oh, and
the
that
stories.
shit happened in Poland the other day. And
Oh,
everybody
I was
like,
over in Europe still, and
Let's
I'm
go,
like, I
dude.
knew it.
Let's fucking go. That's a NATO country, guys. And I'm like, can we just not?
It's ended.
What happened?
Stop.
What happened in
Stop.
Poland?
So
Oh,
what they're
you
saying
didn't-
is two Ukrainians tried to shoot down like 2 Russian missiles that came through, and the thing that was supposed to shoot the missile down missed and landed in an apartment building in Poland.
What?
You ever
people
played that
died.
game Worms, dude?
I don't think I played Worms.
Never played Worms.
What is Worms?
It's like a game, like it's like a side-scrolling game, and you just like launch like artillery. You're like a worm.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
It's like, remember that old game with like the cannons?
Oh, it was like Atari game. Like,
And you have to like lob it, and then it would like blow a hole in the ground and shit.
They basically just did a big oops.
They just they just arced it too high, and they blew up 2 dudes in Poland.
The Ukraine saying they didn't shoot it. They're saying it wasn't them. Of course they did, because they're like, even if it
we
was
fucked up. We fucked up.
Even if it was, but I don't even think
It wasn't even a big missile. They were, you know what I mean?
It killed 2 people. It hit an apartment building. It's sad. It's tragic. But I don't want to fight over.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't think it's
sorry.
like they're not keeping track of every single fucking missile they're launching. Like
Well,
we didn't do
no
it. It's
way.
like
No way.
check in. Maybe you did, or just go like, yeah, we did. Like we fucked up, and
can
just
you
pay him a
call
grip of
the missile
cash and be like, my bad.
department?
Even if you didn't do it, just
Missile
you know.
department. Are we missing any? No.
Yeah, it's wild. And
Yeah, that's not how they track it.
There's so many news things, and they all are like hyping people up to like want to go.
And
to
that's
war
all
with
on
Ukraine.
TikTok.
It is wild, and it's all on TikTok.
Perfect.
And
Dude, my feed-
if you're not like aware that like that's what you're watching, and you're just like getting that and being like, this is reality. Like it's like there's people getting
My
sucked
TikTok
in.
horrifying.
feed is
Yeah.
full of like motivational posts,
I get those sometimes.
and like it's either fucking old Mike Tyson.
That sounds like Buddha Joe's got a healthy
either-
TikTok.
Yeah, well,
It's either-
it's
it's
Sounds
either
like you're a fucking
I am
weirdo.
a weirdo.
old Mike Tyson or titties, bro.
See, that's what I would expect. I was gonna
Okay,
say,
I like
It's
that.
like
You definitely get the
motivational
dancing stuff. Yeah.
It's like fucking
I get the dance
Will
stuff
Smith
so much.
talking about fucking persevering. There's like a fucking a monologue and then just boobs. I'm just like I'm down for those both. Both
Yeah.
of those
I'm
things,
in.
bro.
We're good.
I'm in.
get motivated and then look at titties, dude. That's the perfect algorithm.
Titties are motivating, man.
They are. They are.
I like my titties saggy though. A little. Oof.
got a little wear and tear on
Just
them.
went a little off rails, but
That's okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
You have stuff written
No,
down.
that's
or
the whole
I don't
thing.
want to derail your plan.
No. This is
is
just
how it
stuff in case
goes.
I panic
Oh, good.
and I'm like,
Okay, cool.
This is. I just wanted to
getting
make
down
sure.
to
Like
the end.
sometimes
Thank you.
if the conversation like lulls, I'll get in my head and be like, oh fuck, I don't have anything ready.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, I don't normally get stuff. Because if I have stuff ready, I'll rip through it and then be like, all right, that was 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I didn't spice that out enough. Because I was like, oh, I want to make sure we get everything. Because half the time we do get derailed, and we'll talk about TikTok or the Ukraine and stuff. Every episode happens. Every episode. Sorry.
When
It used to be
I,
Current
snacks.
events, it's kind of hard.
when
Used
I
to
had
be
a
snacks.
podcast way in the old days,
I wanted to ask about that. That's what.
we used to play music on it because like nobody was really paying attention. So we had an iPod. So we would do our outline and put in music breaks,
oh, word.
and then we would just play the song live, like in our headphones. So like we didn't insert them afterwards. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So we mute the mics while the music was playing, and then it was like reset. You know what I mean? I wish you could do it now because it would be really helpful on a show like this or anything to just put a song in.
Yeah.
And then if you bang through your like weird list or whatever the fuck is going on, you have like
Manifesto. I was like, yeah,
3
weird.
minutes to like regroup with everybody and go like, oh yeah, man, we went through my list, like yada yada yada, and like da 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 da. It was awesome. It worked out so well. And then we would like try to be like playing some new shit. Like I just downloaded this the other day, man. You got to check it out.
Well, if you're
It was cool.
commentating on it, like I think like you are doing enough where you can play it. I think you might have to pause it now. But
I
if
think
you're
so you can only
commentating
use
on it, I'm
30
pretty sure-
seconds. I think.
30 seconds total.
I think so.
Okay, because I've seen like
Or maybe you could
I get
start
stuff
and
on
stop it.
I get stuff
don't
on
know.
TikTok of like guys when like albums come out, they like play it and listen to it, but they stop it and make sure to like add their own
Reaction.
commentary to
okay.
it. Because then it's like I think it's like then it's your creative.
Sure. Yeah. Does it fall under like
Yeah.
satire or some weird ass? fucking
Yeah,
law
it's
like
gotta
that?
be
fair
something.
Use.
Fair use.
Yeah.
You definitely
Huh.
can't just play it straight like through. I guess we have some people that we're friends with that we could put their music in. That's actually a kind of good idea.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like,
I mean,
because
I think a lot of the times people would probably nowadays
we had our
actually
friend-
fast forward through the music,
that is true.
but from a production and like flow standpoint, I mean, I guess that's
fucking-
probably what. That was awesome. I guess that's probably what like a commercial break would be like too, though.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
like if you have
It's
a
a
podcast and you
conversation
do
break.
commercials, maybe you drop the commercial in like live. like actually just sit there and listen to the commercial
Oh, maybe I will say the
instead of cutting it in, and that
the-
way you like
the
have
one-
like a forced
I do
break.
like the podcasts that do that, where they
Yeah.
like talk about, like they make the ad more fun because it's like,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
you, because it's like it's almost like they're going like, I agree, this kind of sucks, like but I need money,
Yo,
and then
I'm
I'm like,
gonna-
all right, I'll listen to it.
I'm
I'll
gonna
get
make
money.
a crazy claim right now,
What's that?
and I think I have like possibly in the old podcast audio proof because I probably just
Check
had
the
this
clips.
discussion. We will check the clips. I probably had this discussion on the podcast, but I swear to God, I had a conversation where I was like, "Yo, if a podcast gets big." We could just start doing live read ads like Texaco Star Theater style, where the dude
Yeah.
just walks over and he's like, "Let me tell you about fucking Clorox." You know what I mean? Like you could just right into it and just go into it. And I swear to God, they were like, "That's stupid. You're crazy."
ahead of the game, bro.
No,
Listen,
dude, check the clips. Here's the
Check
deal.
the
You had a
clips.
podcast
And
in
you
what,
said-
2006?
2006.
Dude,
Yeah, let's get
I'm
back
gonna
on a
I'm gonna be
track.
honest. I believe you fully now, because I mean,
It
dude,
was cool.
did they have the internet back then? I don't remember. I was fucking.
was really
oh,
slow.
yeah,
Yeah,
the internet was
2006.
alive back
Yeah.
then, bro.
I-
Oh my goodness.
See, I was
internet was
sheltered. I
lit.
didn't get to watch YouTube until high school.
I
so,
was
like,
lucky because
Alright,
I was
fair.
like a recording. We got lucky because I was a recording engineer, so I had like a 16 channel interface that was in like a road case, and my studio that I was renting at the time was kind of in a dicey neighborhood, so I had a laptop, so I never had to leave my computer at the studio.
Yeah.
So I would just bring it either from my mom's house or from the studio to like a house after I got out of work. I was a pizza delivery guy. So it was really quick setup. It was just like for me, I was like just plugging in 3 handheld microphones and you're good. You know what I mean? So it like sounded pretty good. You know what I mean? It was cool.
Nailed it.
At the time,
Some
like
debt,
nobody,
buddy.
there wasn't like Zoom recorders, and you know there wasn't the like even like something like the thing that you guys are using. You know what I mean? That was really expensive at that point in time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wasn't
It's
really
still
like
money, isn't it?
attainable.
No, it's not. The game is really changed. Like this, when I was in a band like in high school in 2011,
Okay.
these were just coming out, and you barely had access to them, and they were more like you had to get driver downloads
Yep.
and all that. Like
it was all crazy.
you had to have
yeah,
the
it's
correct
total pain in the dick.
software. Like we were using Macs, and we bought one for Windows, and we didn't
Yeah.
even know because the guy didn't even tell us. Like
Yeah.
at Guitar Center, and then but now the I got a Focusrite Scarlett.
Yeah.
Those guys basically work with any software. You just plug it in. Whatever software you've got is gonna recognize that you got this box plugged in, and you plug
Yeah.
it in, and it's light. It's not a 16-channel mixer.
Right.
Like you got
well,
in
this
a
was
road case.
it was called an Apogee Ensemble.
Oh, okay.
So it was like
Yep.
a rack mounted. They had come
Those
out
are
with
nice.
it, and they sold. You could buy it. It was like they did like this big update of Logic, and they put out that Apogee Ensemble at the same time, and they sort of co-marketed the whole thing, and made it so it was like, plug this fucker in, you're good to go. Because this was before Core Audio, which is kind of what
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
functioning through, was kind of sorted out, and that basically is like, you know, it's your sound card basically knows what to do with like an immense amount of streams of like audio. But back then it needed more direction, you know? So this was like one of the first interfaces that it seemed like they were kind of like, this is like going to be very straightforward for you. So I bought like a laptop and that together. Probably like financed it through Apple or some goofball shit like that you do when you're in your early 20s. And it was really portable, and it was really fucking easy to use. It had 8 built-in mic channels and then 8 line level channels. So I just needed to bring
There
a
you go.
very small amount of shit.
That-
Which back then, like, there wasn't a lot of podcasts because it was A, it was really new, and B, nobody had that stuff. Like, why the fuck would a normal ass person have something that you can like record 3 people talking like a fucking radio station? Like, it didn't make
or a
any
whole
sense,
band.
you know?
You can record a whole band
Yeah.
with that.
Now you can. Yeah, now you can. It wasn't like that, you know.
I didn't even know podcasts existed until like college, to be honest with you. I
Well,
had no idea
what's
that they were
weird is
actually
that
real.
podcasts blew up in like, they think the first one came out like 2005, maybe something like that. They like blew up for like a little while, like 2006 through like 2008. And then they sort of fucking left the news cycle. And then as soon as the iPhone came out, because back when you first had a podcast, you had to use an iPod and you had to plug it into your computer every night and hook it into iTunes, and you subscribed to everything via an RSS feed, which is still functionally the same thing. It's just all in the background of an app now, so you don't know that that's what the protocol is, but it's an RSS feed. 2.10, whatever. It's an updated version of it, but because it can do regional like sectioning and shit like that. But
Shout out to Anchor.
shout out to Anchor. I know
Dude,
they're really
dude.
fucking.
I am so
I'll
dumb,
listen to
it
Two
hurts.
Bears, One Cave, and I'll get an ad for a Big Y, like a local grocery store.
Dude, you guys talking
It's
about
crazy.
this like is the same thing as someone talking sports to me.
This is like
Dude, my
tech,
head is like
Same
nerd
thing
talk.
as
Dude, this is
Producer
like-
talk.
Producer
Yeah.
talk.
I'm loving
yeah.
this.
So
I'm like getting educated
You
right
guys have
now.
to kiss now.
we will. We're gonna.
dude, I was gonna say, dude,
It's a good thing I'm on this side of
Off
the table.
camera. Off camera.
You know.
dude, I'm worried to get up now.
So yeah, we used to. It was like an old school like RSS feed. I can't remember what the point was of that. What was I saying?
We're talking about how to get podcasts.
Oh
on the
yeah.
app.
So you
Oh,
had
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
How to
plug in
do
your
a
fucking
pod-
phone.
Yeah.
With presumably overnight, which was kind of like how things were. It was a lot more predictable
Yeah.
computer usage cycle at this point in time because you were either at work or you're at home.
Yeah.
Your like access point wasn't on you at all points in time. There was no iPhone. There was a fucking that
Yeah.
dumbass thing with the flip around screen, but that was like a
had to
weird
have
like
an
muted
iMac at
version of
home.
the internet. Yeah, you do.
No, it was
had
like you
one. Yeah,
had to, or
something
you had
at
a
home,
PC
yeah.
to
Or you
run
had a PC
iTunes.
with iTunes on it. Yeah. So you had to plug you go
Yeah.
home, you go to bed, you plug in your fucking iPod, and it would update itself.
Kids get
overnight.
educated.
And
Yeah,
then
dude,
that's how you listen to a
so inept for
podcast.
shit.
You would, and then unplug it, and your podcasts have now updated overnight.
And
And then you listen to them. They do the same thing the next day, and then every couple weeks you got to go, oh, delete that, delete that, delete that, da 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 da, all that shit. It was a pain in the ass, you know.
Yeah.
So they
would
were
never
around
do
for
that.
like a couple years, and then they were gone. Like they sort of were all still around, but nobody was like talking about it anymore. And then as soon as the iPhone came out and they put a fucking podcast app on it,
That
it was
auto
like
did it.
instant game on. Like what iPhone was what 2010,
2008.
8. Okay,
The
so
first
yeah,
one.
They must. So they just like popped it right back into the fucking game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it went. You know, it was kind of slow. And now I would say like the last 5 years.
Are you guys able to track back like people's trends with the iPhone? Because I feel like I'm able to do that. I don't know if you guys noticed that everyone got the iPhone 4.
Oh, as
As,
far as
like,
like the renew cycle,
Yeah.
I
like
have,
you
like,
can
a weird
understand
theory.
people's renew. Okay, let's hear it.
it's like if you could go back and like analyze their like marketing campaigns, like I think there's certain cycles where somebody got a this is gonna sound so dumb, but I
Oh
think
my
you'll
God.
figure it out. So somebody got a Motorola Razr, right? And then they
I
had to
already
hang
know.
on to that fucker for 2 years because of this weird contract
With Verizon.
with Verizon or T-Mobile or whatever. What was the other? Singular wireless, you know?
I love the Razor, bro.
Because you get your year every 2
Love
years,
the
you get a
Razr.
new phone. That's how it was. They hogtied you to a contract. They go like, you stick with us for 2
Yeah.
years, we'll give you this phone. If you leave us, you have to give us $250,000 or whatever it was. It's crazy amount
yeah,
of money.
dude. The
So,
contracts. What was up with that, dude?
That's what I'm saying because you were getting the phone for free.
Oh my god.
So, all right.
If you don't pay, we're
So
gonna come
somebody
to your house
had a
and we're
Motorola
breaking your
Razr,
legs.
and then they were stuck for like 2 years. Around the end of that 2 years, Sidekick comes out,
Oh, yep.
and everybody's like, "Ooh, getting a Sidekick."
Yo, Jay-Z was on that shit. I saw
Exactly.
commercials.
But now
Yeah, back in the day.
you gotta wait 2 more years. So
My
now
friend
we're
who
at
liked
like
Jay-Z got a
Razr was like
Sidekick.
the fucking year 2000 was the Nokia fucking indestructible brick with Snake on it.
Oh, bro, yes.
Everybody had this phone. It was
Anybody had
gangster.
the one that like slid. It was like,
Fuck that. No, dude. I want him to remake that
That
Nokia.
joint?
With the keyboard?
yeah,
Dude.
No, but the little one, the little.
It's
I
like
found
this
it.
big.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I'm just talking about monumental cell phones right now.
Oh,
the
my bad.
That's
Nokia.
a big one, dude.
We
That's
go-
like everyone had that.
we go
night.
Nokia.
we don't
yo,
talk
I'm-
about Nokia.
you
We
know,
don't fuck with Nokia.
we
here.
go
I'm
Nokia
sorry.
brick.
iPhone. I'm sorry.
We go
guys.
Nokia brick.
What the?
Yeah.
That's like indestructible, right? You could like. ram
There
it
always
through it.
people joke around online. They put it in like a hydraulic press, and the hydraulic press explodes. You
No,
know?
dude, I had one of those.
So Nokia
good.
brick, and then we get the Motorola Razr,
Yep.
and then we get the fucking Sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Sidekick 2 pops off and it retains dominance for another couple years.
That's a BlackBerry.
Okay.
And then BlackBerry was after Sidekick. We go Sidekick, BlackBerry for sure. Excellent call. iPhone. Now, I think if you go back and
What a strange time it was.
BlackBerry's
weird.
almost made a
This
comeback,
guy,
dude.
if you go back, I bet you could look at the renew cycles of people's contracts.
Check
Yeah.
the trends.
And it
dude.
would directly feed into how successful alternating iPhones have been since then.
Dude,
I bet you
what a
everybody's on like a weird 2-year thing. So like a fucking 13. Who the fuck has a 13? I don't know anybody. Everybody's
I
got a
do.
12 or a 14.
What is that?
Present company
is that the new
excluded.
one?
You
Okay.
son of a bitch. Step
It's
on
in
my
your
point.
phone. It says it in the phone.
I bet there's just certain
think I
ones
have a
that do
13.
not as good. But I
Yeah.
think it all ties back to the renew cycle of people's contracts. Back straight to the Nokia brick, dog.
You know what?
The weird thing
be,
are the
bro.
people. I like.
That's my and this
People
thus,
buy
con-
meant to
thus
be.
concludes
That's the
my
thing.
senior thesis. I have a
can I
doctorate in
check?
cell phones now.
I love it, dude.
Wait. We have to agree if you have
What
that
phone is this?
doctorate.
Oh, that's
on-
true. Wait, yeah, you guys are the
If
committee.
he said it, I believe him.
All right.
It's an iPhone
I love that
13.
attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
third-
Okay,
think
so
that's
my
a
For the
13.
14 though, I had the 8.
needed
and then
a new
it
one.
broke.
my
The
cycle
only
was
reason I got it.
off.
No,
I think
just
the
for me.
5 was the one that fucking hit the hardest. The first one that actually had this edge, the flat edge.
Dude,
So-
they brought this
No, that was
back.
the
I think that's
that was
why.
the
Because
4.
it's like they're
People
like,
like it,
they're,
yeah.
yes, people like that squareness.
That was the 4.
It was a 4. That's the
Yeah.
first one I ever had. The
It
one
was
that
like
had
the
the
almost like
flat
the
side.
iPod Touch looking one, kind of.
4
right?
was the best one
4.
for me.
Yeah.
I missed the
best
button.
one.
I had
And
the
I have a
3GS.
mini because I hate
was
how
the
big
phase
iPhones
right
are
before
now.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had-
I can't do the case. I don't like the cases.
Oh, I
So
know,
what's
dude. Mine
crazy
always
is
turn-
he-
Allstate, I might
Mine
as well
always
pay
turn
for it.
yellow too. I just buy a clear case and it turns yellow.
You just gotta stop buying the cheap
Yeah.
ones, bro. You just gotta.
At the-
Good stuff, man.
What, you have an OtterBox, you fucking
No,
goober?
bro.
Fucking goof.
I got this case.
Oh, you have.
The
But what is that?
simple-
Your wallet on it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You don't put your wallet in your back pocket?
Listen, don't worry about where I put my wallet.
I got judged by my wallet the other
I'm
day.
sorry.
'cause
That's the
it's
Puerto
leather.
Rican. That's the Puerto Rican in me.
Was it? Do you back pocket it?
No, but my wallet, I have like I don't take shit out of it, so like I have like
Yeah,
room
you have a
but,
man
like,
wallet, dude.
But it's leather, so I can't take it out because now the pouches are too big and my ID and stuff's gonna fall out.
Yeah, you.
So I had to
stretch
keep them
out.
in. I had to keep it
Do you
in.
have
now.
it on you?
It's in my bag. Yeah. I'll pull it
Nah,
out.
don't you don't got it. All right, we're gonna do wallet comparisons.
Yeah.
I think
Zoom
wallets are
in.
like they say a lot about. My uncle, my
Listen.
dad's brother, dude, his wallet straight up is like 2.5 inch. It's like this thick, dude.
Yeah. No, that's
this
crazy.
is for the if you're into audio.
So this is
It's like 2.5 inches.
Oh my
it's
God, George
That's
Costanza.
gnarly, dude.
here's the
George,
deal. You know what?
George.
Yo, that's a Costanza.
That's a
George,
Costanza
dude.
wallet.
George, what are you doing?
I mean, mine's pretty thick, but
You know
what
what's
are all those
crazy?
cards for?
You know what's crazy?
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
half of them are business cards. My right side's all
Oh,
business
dude,
cards.
never save a bit. You're never gonna use it.
Well, I have like 3 of Buddha somehow.
Yeah.
People-
Those are
I
all
love it.
business cards.
Keep those
People
in
always
there.
people always go like, "Can I leave some business cards here?" I'm like, "Yeah, totally, dude.
Can I-
Nobody's
can I-
ever taken
dude,
a
like,
business
can I
card
take a
look
from
at
here.
that?
Just
Is
throw
that
them away
okay?
after like
Dude,
2
like
days.
3 of these things have money on it, and that is my ID
That's
and
so
like my
funny.
AAA, my health
Sorry.
insurance.
I'm
and
not
stuff.
looking at the
My
business
band
cards.
got
Where
business
are they?
cards
That
as a
side.
waste.
This side?
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
lot.
Well, that's a gift card.
Oh, wait. I don't want to. This is weird.
This is
Yeah,
thick
it
though.
is
That's a
wild.
lot
This
of
the
cards.
business
Just gave your wallet. back.
Honestly-
half are business cards. Yeah.
Yo,
Look how
it's like
generous
as
this
thick
man
as
is.
like 2 decks of cards
It
for
is
the
wild,
for the
yeah, but I
non-video
take it
people.
out of
That's a
my
very
pocket,
thick
'cause
wallet.
Here's the
That's a
deal.
deck
That's a
card.
hard flex when you slam it on the fucking table
And
like
the crazy
that.
thing
It
is, I'm gonna
thumps.
have
Big
2
wallet
things with money
energy.
on it. That's it. But the thing is, as you can see, I spread out. I've always spread out, and I need to see shit because I don't keep shit in my pockets.
Okay.
Because then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose it.
You know what?
So I always keep shit out.
I'm the
Makes
total
sense.
opposite. I have like assigned pockets where the shit is all the time.
Same.
And like anytime I move, I'm like
Well, I had to do the phone wallet keys every time I get up. Every time.
PWK is a lifestyle.
Of course, you have to, man.
My wife never knows where her
That
shit
shit is
dude.
crazy, man.
It's like she walks into my
I
house
need a
and
new
just
wallet.
drop kicks her keys somewhere in the room.
I need a
I'm
new
like,
wallet,
babe,
bro.
what are you doing?
but like this hasn't like completely worn out yet. I like using shit till it's done. Like I'm
Well,
not
yeah.
like
I
I don't
don't
buy
technically carry a wallet on me most of the time
smart.
because I was taught growing up in Queens the fastest way to lose your money is to carry a fucking wallet. And I was like, okay, I'm never carrying a wallet.
Keep it in your sock or something.
Yeah, that's some hood shit. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
You know?
I was
That's
gonna
good.
ask, were there a lot of Italians in Queens where you grew up?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
They must have been annoying, right? I follow this guy on
Well-
TikTok who's like too Italian for me. Like it's
Oh
scary.
no, yeah, bro.
Look at
What's the
my
guy's
dude.
name?
I don't know, but he looks.
They're the
dude,
worst.
the beard nuts. Like he made. Like I think I posted a TikTok about it because I'm like too Italian.
The beautiful thing about New York, I think, is like the pizza's way better, of course, right?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
I'm biased, different opinions, whatever, right? But when you walk in, there's a fucking Italian guy like swinging the fucking dough, spinning dough. Hey, whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Hey,
whoa,
this guy, fucking Buddha Joe. What am I gonna do with this guy over here? We're fucking,
The
you know,
hands.
yeah.
Everybody's their
Sit
own
down,
character.
bro. I have a uncle who's Ecuadorian, named Giovanni, who married an Italian woman named Sally, whose aunt and uncles and all fucking nephews are named Giuseppe. So they meet
Giuseppe?
me. I'm the fucking favorite one, bro. So yeah, a lot of Italians in Queens, to answer your question. Yeah.
Got it.
Sounds awful. I went to Rome one time. My main complaint, full of Italians.
Too many.
Too many, dude. Way
Those-
too many.
There was a lot of French people. No, sorry. A lot of French people in
dare
Amsterdam.
you.
Sorry.
How dare you?
But the British people are nuts. I can't stand
Oh,
them.
yeah,
And
they
we
hate
met.
them.
we
I
met
think
some
they
Aust-
hate them
Oh,
in
it was,
Amsterdam.
dude. It was fun. We
I
met.
always wanted to go.
Dude, here's the deal.
Oh,
I
yeah,
liked
we
it,
need to
but it
know
was
about
like
that.
the first few days. I'm like, this place is like adult Disney World, man. They got
It is.
casinos, they got
It's like
boobs, they
too
got
much
weed.
fun.
Although-
it's not too much fun. It's weird. It's like being in like old style Europe, and you're walking around, and you're like, there's, I'm like, I can get like anything. It's like the street where our hotel was for 2 blocks. It was like coffee shop, churro place, gyro place, like a shawarma place, and then French fries, and that's it. And then it's like, pot shop, mushroom shop, like, and then it's like,
That's all you need.
I'm like, this place is nuts, and
That's all you need within the block.
Interesting.
and then people are speaking like six. You expect English because you get English so much there, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're speaking. They're like, this guy like named one of the tunnels, and I was on the boat tour, and I felt bad. It was a bad look for America.
I love
I
the
belly
boat tour.
laughed when he named the tunnel.
Oh,
It
shit.
was like he was like, oh, this is the gentleman's canal because it was like the rich person's canal, but he's like, it's the Schulpen-Dupidoo, and I just like lost it. I was drunk and high on the boat. I just couldn't hold it in.
Bro.
And
You were. This is why the world hates us.
no, but we were really polite.
You.
The bikes over
You
there
forgot.
cannot stand them. It was nuts.
There's an excessive amount of bicycles.
It was
there.
cool for the first
Yeah.
2 minutes, and then I was like, too much. They are menaces. So it's like, I don't know if you've ever been to like Cambridge, where like the bikes are like a little
Yeah.
bit nut.
Yeah.
I went to Cambridge this week after
was
being
great.
there, and I'm like, this is fine. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
It
pretty
was
sure-
too much. This guy hit me with a bike, and I'm walking on the sidewalk. I'm like, you guys
You're
are
not
fucking
even
animals over here.
yeah, you're
Enough
nuts.
of the bikes, and then you have to walk in the street because they just leave bikes on the road
Everywhere.
with no pedals. Like, so they're just broken and they just leave them. And there's like 900,000 people who live in Amsterdam. There's like 1.5 million bikes.
Yeah.
Get rid of some of them.
When I got there
It's
for
nuts.
the first time, I was like at the so you fly, what is it? Schiphol is the airport, and then you take the train to like downtown Amsterdam, and it's like this like kind of hoop shape city. It's like a horseshoe
Yeah.
with canals like striping it, you know. And down at the way bottom of the U, this is my recollection of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
no,
this
you're
is
pretty
completely
spot on so
accurate,
far.
is the train station. So it's kind of the main like in and out, and then all the public transportation goes like this. It's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant design for a city because it's a swamp that they just turned into a town. You know.
Yeah.
It's like barely land. All the
Yeah.
They're shrinking. The houses are slanted.
yeah,
There's
all the
some-
houses are.
Collapsing.
Most of them are mounted on pylons that go like 100 feet into the ground to
Wow.
get to like stable land. They're like on like
That's for crazy.
You know what would have been
It's
way
crazy.
easier?
I don't know what the
Not
fuck.
put in place a city there.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, they
Anyway.
took up all the space you can actually live on growing fucking tulips, dude.
Dude, the fact that they didn't they like collapse their like economy at one point because they were like, oh, the tulip's the most valuable thing on the planet,
I
so
don't
everyone
know.
invested in
Probably,
tulips.
I don't know about the tulip wars, but
Oh, it was nuts.
That sounds- is there a
look it up.
Netflix?
It's real.
I'll
I'm not
check
making
it.
it up. I don't know what it's called though, because I just
Um,
know ideas. I don't know what it's about it.
so I get out of this fucking train station and I'm waiting for a fucking. First of all, I have to figure out how to get my fucking cell phone to work because this was in like 2009 or some shit. It wasn't like simple
jeez.
anymore. Or like it is now. I had a BlackBerry, which is actually the easiest like international traveling phone at that point in time. So I'm waiting for like a phone call, and they're like, "All right, go outside. We'll pick you up. we're parked at this bike rack. And I go outside and I look to my right. And there is fucking 75 bike racks and 250,000 bicycles in every direction, dude. Outside this train station, there is literally like, what would you say, 100,000 bikes?
It's the stupid, dude. It is so dumb.
It looks like a weird
it's a
art
circus.
project that somebody did. You're like,
Really?
this can't be, like, how the fuck do you even find your bike? Are these anybody? What are they doing here?
Can I be honest with you?
It's crazy.
My conspiracy about it, and I got it like the first day as I'm walking around grilled around the city. I'm like, this is like the first like curated experience, like kind of like Nashville and like how they have like the
Okay.
street. That
Sure.
everything is just for tourists, and it's for like doing like vices in like a European
you
setting.
think it's like a
wild.
CIA
It's Disney World.
It's like a CIA
dude.
project
The fucking
in
red
Amsterdam.
light, the red light district. Every single thing has cameras.
Yeah.
And it looks
yeah.
like there's condos on top of like where like the woman of the night work. I don't want to. And I like on one of the floors, I saw this guy with like 60 monitors just sitting up there chilling.
Yeah,
at like at 1 o'clock in the morning. That was one of the most uneasy I've ever felt in my entire life. Like walking.
Yo, but the city like
it's
it
cool, man.
Works
but
because
it does.
like,
But the bikes.
It's
like the Truman Show.
weird, and I understand like the camera shit is like, it's weird.
It's everywhere.
If you describe it in a certain way, it sounds insanely dystopian. It sounds like fucking Blade Runner.
Well, dude, it kind of is on the red light district. It's like, oh,
you can describe the exact same scene in a different fucking way, and it's sounds like paradise on earth.
Oh yeah.
oh, it's the way you look at it. 100%.
Totally,
I'm a negative
it's
person.
so bizarre in that way to me. Amsterdam is like, somehow it doesn't feel like the wheels are gonna come off.
Oh no, it's because it's.
But it totally should feel like the wheels are about to come
yeah, the
off.
bikes and everything. It's so coordinated, dude. Like nothing.
Yes,
and no
the bike
one-
wheels,
no
and metaphorical
accidents.
and the literal bicycle wheels. They're in poor shape, rusty, a lot of rain.
And then the cars, like they all work. No, like I thought people would be getting hit by people constantly. It's
Yeah.
not.
No.
It feels like the Truman Show over there. And then it's like you were saying, like Blade Runner at the red light district at night. They had like a projection on like one of the walls. It's like, don't buy street drugs. Like it's poison. And then 2 seconds later, a guy walks up to you. He's like, ecstasy, coke.
Yeah,
And I'm like, dude, this is like a game where it's like, are you gonna actually like listen and learn?
Cyberpunk 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
it's
it's also
like 1984 set up by the Govs.
but it's also like if you have any problem and you go there, it is not a good place. Like
No.
I ate fucking so many churros because I have a weight problem, and I smoked so much weed because I was like, this is dope. And my buddy was drinking. If you want prostitutes, you have prostitutes and it's legal. You can do psychedelic drugs, legal. You can do literally. You can eat if you're fat. Like I was eating the whole time. You got the bike ride. If you want to be a normal person and ride bikes and stuff, you can do that. You can do the canals. Like it's like fucking Disney World, man. It's weird.
Imagine how
Somehow
much
works.
people who
It works,
live in
man, because I
Amsterdam
think it's
hate-
like supposed. Like, dude,
It's
the Dutch are an
balanced, I
efficient
guess.
people, man. I guess
They are,
They
yeah.
build windmills and shit,
Did you
and
go
they
to
also
a
curate experiences.
Did you go to
in
a
Amsterdam.
sex show when you were there?
I did not. I'm not a big I'm not a PDA guy. I was going to use that bit tonight. I'm not a big PDA guy.
You should have gone to a sex show, dude.
I should have,
My
but we
wife
were-
and I went to Amsterdam on our honeymoon, and we went to a sex show. And we saw a woman smoke a cigar with her pussy.
Oh my
Wow,
god,
that is really
It
interesting.
was
I couldn't help but
fucking-
I would laugh though.
I
if
totally saw
that.
it coming because she came out like dressed
that
like
gotta
like a sleuth. You know what I mean? From like
do you
a
clean
fucking
that
film
out?
noir.
Yeah.
Like low slung, like fucking Dick Tracy, like trench coat thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And she had a cigar, and immediately
like,
I was like,
Pussy
"Oh,
cigar.
babe,
Why
I
wouldn't you put it
know
in-
what's gonna happen." And she was like, "What?" And I was like,
Damn.
"Just wait."
Yeah.
Oh,
She
that
was
sounds
like,
so
"What do you mean?"
nasty.
And it was, no, dude.
Why
it
would
was
you
cool.
put it in
She
your
did
butt?
a handstand.
I would put it in my butt before I put it in my pussy. To be honest with you.
She did a handstand, dude, and then she like was taking drags off of it, like puffing it, taking it out, and then like shooting the smoke back out. Like she was like, it
I don't
was
want to see that.
fascinating.
Maybe that's why I didn't go.
You don't?
We were also with my friends and like his girlfriend. I'm like, I don't need to. We went at a weird time of night too. So we went on
Yeah, there's
Saturday
not
at
like
1 a.m.
There's not necessarily
good
an
people in there.
unweird time
And
to see somebody smoke a cigar.
I would
with
do
their
it at
pussy.
like 8 p.m. on a Thursday.
It could have been
because
a
they got the-
Thursday.
yeah,
it was
but we
later
were
than
there-
8 p.m. though.
Okay,
was
that's
probably
fine.
like
1 a.m. There was some sketchy
10 or
people
11.
out there, and I was like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be around here. And then we went at like Monday or Tuesday night at like 6:30, and I'm
you
like,
get-
I don't want to see who's putting a
Did
cigar
you
in
get
their
ice
butthole.
cream when you were there? They call it soft ice.
I did not, because if I ate ice cream, I wouldn't have stopped.
Yo, they're
I had to
right
make a
outside
decision.
one of the.
It was cold too.
Right
and I
outside the
didn't wa-
casino, that's like really close, straight across from the train station.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I know
It's got
exactly,
like
yeah.
an open air mall in it thing
Yeah, yeah.
attached to it. Yo, the best ice cream on the planet in that fucking open air mall. It's like the texture of fucking, like ice cream is when it's shitty. You can feel the fucking granules. in
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
granular, dude.
Was not.
It was made out of like fucking outer
Zero
space. Dude. I
grain.
don't know.
Made out of outer
It had
space.
no friction on my fucking being. It was
You're
only
adding to my
direct
finger.
like flavor, dude. It was so crazy. You know how McDonald's
very
ice cream is like ultra smooth and so good, even
Yeah,
though you
it's
can only
brainwashing,
get it like
yeah.
fucking once a month
yeah.
because the machines are broken.
They don't want you to
No,
have it more.
That's
you-
hacky
You know what
material,
happened?
I'm
I'm sorry to derail this.
It's okay.
The people
please
who make the McFlurry machines put in fucking Bluetooth shit so they can detect whether the machine is operational or not, and didn't tell
shuts it down?
McDonald's no, because McDonald's, hey, the machine's broken. The machine's broken. The machine's broken. They lease that equipment.
Yeah, they have like a bizarro like binding contract with these ice cream people.
Yeah, it's a
So
weird one. It's one of
the
weird ones in
person,
business,
the,
yeah.
the
Somebody
company
really
who
fucked up.
who makes that machine
What do you think? Odds are
track
that lawyer's
them
still alive who
and
reviewed that contract?
they're suing
Probably
them.
not.
No, they legit sued them for like a shitload of money. It's still in process because they're like, you guys
They're
over
gonna
this
have
many
working ice cream
years.
machines soon. Is that what you're telling
Yeah,
me?
Also,
bro.
they were weren't they
Yeah.
in charge of like the maintenance too? They have like the
Yes.
one. So I think like the
They gotta
company
like
was
call
like, if
some
you're
guy.
broke,
He's
yeah,
gotta
if you're-
like show up to fix
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think what they were saying too is like, if they're broken this often, you're not calling us enough to get it fixed. So
Yeah.
like they were like coming for their money. I think
That's
Yep.
crazy.
because I've heard that too. It's nuts.
Didn't they almost go bankrupt when they made the pizza?
McDonald's?
Yeah.
McDonald's made pizza.
I would.
Yeah, for a
You
split
don't remember
second,
that?
I think.
Oh my
No.
god.
What
I
a
mean-
horrifying idea.
It was
Who allowed
fucking
that?
weird,
No.
dude. It was weird.
That's disgusting.
McDonald's should take no risks. All you do
No,
is
they
add
really-
some sauce to a chicken
yeah.
sandwich once every few months, and you're fine.
Although I do like they appreciate they brought the bagel breakfast sandwiches back.
Did they?
See, I don't.
They have
I like the.
to.
They
I like the
did?
McGriddle
Yeah,
if
the
I go to
steak
McDonald's
one's
for
back.
breakfast.
The
I don't.
steak one's back.
I don't know if I'd want
Since
to.
we're on the subject, I just
steak.
have a couple of hard
We got the hard
topics I want
hitters
to talk
now.
about.
Please,
all
please
right?
tell.
All
Yeah,
right.
please.
I have 13 minutes before
Gotcha.
I have to go to work.
Number one, why doesn't Dunkin' have a biscuit-based breakfast sandwich?
They have at points in time. I don't
It
know.
would be so dry. I imagine.
Here's my overarching
Biscuits number one.
question.
Biscuits number one for
Doesn't
breakfast.
McDonald's have
Why
a
the
English
biscuit?
muffin?
fuck is Dunkin' Donuts food so shitty?
Because they. Dude,
It's fucking crazy.
It is.
Just
It's so
make better
expensive.
food.
Yeah.
It
Honeydew's
literally takes
better.
just
Oh, you guys don't have
hiring
any, do it there.
one guy
Yeah.
that you will listen to and make a better food menu.
They
Not-
do the cheapest shit possible.
It's so
like,
fucking
hey,
not-
weird.
not
invest
only
a little
that-
in the bagel, dude.
Not only
A
that,
little.
I
It's so
don't
bad.
understand.
It's Thomas
It's either-
Bagels. It's fake eggs.
It's
fake sausage.
so
It's
stupid.
terrible.
It's so stupid.
here's my thing too. Like, you know how we have units of measure for cream and sugar?
Yeah.
I want a coffee, 2 creams, 3 sugars.
Yeah. Who the fuck knows what that actually
Why
means,
the
by
fuck
way?
is there not a unit of measurement as a fat guy, for not only toast level but also cream cheese? Why is it always
Oh,
Well,
the
because they got a
globs.
pack of Philadelphia because they're cheap fucks. Dunkin' Donuts, you're terrible.
I think
I went over
yeah.
to I went
Oh,
over to
shit.
fucking Denmark and your shit
he's
tasted
fired.
like raisins, and you made me order on this fucking
looking at the
board
fucking
that was
thing.
slow. So
The
fix
worst.
it. And,
Yeah.
and the worst part is if you go to Dunks, they're
That's
the
funny.
least consistent franchise on the planet.
'Cause that's what I was about to say, dude.
Terrible. You like if you don't have the right ratio of people who have like, this is like they are not happy they're working at Dunkin' Donuts, and then like high school and college kids. If there's
Yeah.
not the right ratio, either way, it's the worst Dunkin' Donuts possible.
Why
you need the
are
perfect amount.
most Dunkin' Donuts in Western Mass entirely like staffed by like high school girls? Like
Do they
there's
do that?
never
They're
like
gonna put
any
the care into your
dudes.
coffee. Those girls are gonna put the care. They just think it's the most special thing sometimes.
so.
And no, there's half.
Yo.
It's half
I
and
think
half.
it might just be
There's
like
half and half.
who's ever's doing the
Or
there's
hiring.
never any
But you-
dudes?
Wait,
There's
do you
like
guys
no
know what Mary
dudes that
Lou's
work at
is?
Dunkin'
Really?
Donuts.
I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts
Around
ever
here?
out here. I don't, there's like a
There's like
franchise.
none.
You're right. That's weird.
Yeah.
Or is it? not
There's a
weird.
franchise down in my area called Mary Lou's. And
Yeah,
they
I was
only-
gonna say.
They only hired the same thing. They got like in trouble because like guys would try to apply and they'd be like, no. And
Have
it
you
was,
ever
like,
had a
weird,
male cashier at Big Y?
Yes. Also, I do self-checkout.
How
but I'm not a
often,
lunatic.
though? What? Okay,
Why are you
let
not
me
doing
rephrase that
self-checkout?
question. I do self-checkout.
So, but
But I still am in the store. I'm looking around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There is like maybe 5% of the cashiers at Big Y are male.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
I think 5%.
And
is
all of the
good.
baggers are male.
Yeah.
You guys are noticing stuff I would have never.
What is-
I don't
Bro,
think I've noticed this.
I don't
What's
have
going
enough
on
big.
in Westfield?
I don't have enough big Ys.
It's not
by
just
me.
Westfield because I don't even go to that one. I go to the Southampton one because the scales aren't on.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Western Mass is a weird place. So that's probably
totally
why.
weird. Yeah, I love
It's
it.
one of the
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
Anything west of Worcester, I'm like, ooh,
I've
this
been
is a
like
different-
on
this
like
is
most
northern
of the
Connecticut.
planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, Western Mass fucking rocks. This place is
It's
awesome.
it's such it's so
Yeah.
such a different
It's
vibe.
fucking
But
so
even
dumb,
in
it
Westfield, you
rules.
have
I love
like
it.
we're on at the beginning of going into the Berkshires, into the fucking woods, and then we're over here like you can go 20 minutes, 30 minutes and hit Springfield, or Holyoke, or an hour. We're on the Pike. You know, like what?
It's fire.
That-
I just hate the
that- that's-
Pike.
That's,
True.
that's like
my
if it's like
thing.
where or like I don't know, like fucking I don't know, some like an Athol was on the Pike, or like it just seems like a backwoods, like not backwoods, but like
You're out of nowhere. I'm like, who lives out
Well,
here?
there's also the
like I would go
school,
on
right?
the road to Amherst. Like,
oh yeah,
like,
college,
and it would be
yeah.
like
Yeah,
an
college.
hour and a half. I'd be like, who is on this
Who's out
road
here?
this far off Route 2? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nothing out here. Like, I think low key, you have people in your basement immediately.
It's rednecky. It's rednecky.
You're not in a
like outside the
semi-convenient
cities.
place at this point. And
It's
you live in
not like the
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts that like people like think of when they think of Massachusetts.
Oh, no,
you know
it's
what I
weird.
mean? Like they picture like the town or whatever. Like we're all like it's all just like or like The Departed. I think you know what I mean.
Oh,
These
yeah,
days,
oh,
like
yeah.
everybody's got some weird.
I went down to Raleigh
Sorta,
for comedy
or-
a couple times last year, and no matter how I had to stop saying Westfield.
Nobody
You
knows
know,
where it is.
I'm like, well,
Just say
Springfield.
Western Mass.
So I kept saying Westfield before I go on stage. I had 3 shows in 3 days. They were just like, all right, coming from Boston. I was just like, what
Yeah.
the
It's
fuck?
nowhere near Boston, but
It's nowhere
for the
near
rest of the
Boston.
country, we're so close to Boston.
Maybe
here
Worcester?
that they consider it. The
I was
same.
in a band.
I guess that, you know.
At
It's
one
just
point
it's
in
so
time
small.
Yeah.
that we were like considered a Boston band. And I guess like at one point in time 2 members lived in Boston, but for
Yeah.
the majority of the band a
Didn't
dude
live
lived
in
in
Boston.
Albany, I lived in
Yeah.
Western Mass, a dude lived in Providence, and our singer lived in
And you guys just
Chicago.
came together.
And we would play a show and they would be like Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess if you take the average of all the places,
Well, if you think of
kind
it,
of like central, maybe, but Chicago fucks that theory up.
Well, I
but-
got
It's like
pissed off.
Houston-
I look sorry. I look
No, no,
bad
go
because
ahead.
this guy walked up to me. He was headlining the show. He said, "Oh, I heard you're from Boston. Oh, do you know this person and this person?"
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
I don't know any of
Dude,
them.
it's just city,
Oh
dude.
my
I'm
god!
from fucking Westfield. And he's like, "Oh, but they said you're a bot because they don't fucking know
because I fucked up.
where
Yeah.
Westfield is, bro."
well, it's because Houston is as big as the state of like Connecticut. So
Houston
it's like they,
is so
so they
frighteningly
look-
large, it's crazy.
yeah. So they look at like.
Is that where
wh-
you're from?
No, I was just saying like that's
Oh,
as,
okay.
just as an example that
Oh,
like
okay.
it's because it's like that comparable. It's like so they look at it as like if you're an hour and a half out of Boston, like you're from Boston.
We're
for a
from
lot of
South
the
Shore,
country.
Mass.
Yeah, that's the only reason I
Okay.
think out here is weird is I like the ocean. I like seeing the sea.
Yeah,
The
dude,
waves,
would
the
I love
salty
to
air.
be like near the ocean for sure?
But you're close already.
It's
here.
close
I
enough.
wouldn't-
And Western Mass like wouldn't be what it is if it, you know what I mean? It's like it
It's
is
cool.
a decidedly like a different vibe than a lot of the area around it.
I hate to say it too.
Yeah.
It's
It's got
also
a thing. I don't know what it is, but it's got a thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I like.
I think of Western Mass as like true, like what people think of New England outside of Boston. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
think so.
It's like got the same. It's got a different vibe, obviously, than like Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine.
No,
but it's
but
like
it-
different from like Rhode Island,
I
Boston.
think if
area.
you
It's, like,
showed
true New
somebody a
England.
picture of like where I live, like downtown East Hampton, with the lake and the strip and the mountain in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
background, and showed it to anybody
and
in America,
Luthiers.
where is that? They would say everybody would say Vermont.
Oh, probably.
You know what I mean?
anyone outside
Well,
of
it's
New
the Bur-
England.
I guess
Yeah.
it's like it's the same mountain
People,
chain.
yeah,
you know what
it's
I mean?
the
So
same
like-
sort of thing. You know what I mean? I just think it
But it screams
not-
New England.
It's just New Englandy. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean? Like
100%.
from here to Greenfield up to like Brattleboro.
Yep.
It's all pretty much the same like vibe. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I really like it. It's like a weird combination
It
of
just
rednecks
snows
and
earlier.
hippies that I really.
It's like 91,
Agreed.
basically, right? Like,
Yeah,
if you think of it, yeah.
The heroin highway.
Everyone keeps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen it's the Curb Your Enthusiasm bit where Larry goes to vote and he says like, I'm voting for this guy, and then this guy goes, oh, I'm voting for this guy, and he goes, we cancel each other out. Let's just avoid this. Let's just call it a day.
And
They
they just
shake
leave.
on it and leave.
Nice.
That's how Western Mass evens itself out.
Yeah, it is really like that. And in Western Mass, it's more similar, I guess. Like Worcester area has a lot of this, but like Westfield specifically, it's like a manufacturing town, like a
Old Mill City.
specialized manufacturing town.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like CNC machinists and like really, really high level, skilled blue collar workers
Oh, for sure.
that make a fucking lot of money.
Oh yeah.
I know some guys.
Still
who-
As they
Massachusetts.
should, dude.
It's
They're
still
fucking. There's like
Massachusetts.
the skill level, like the machining and like technical knowledge in this town is like fucking
well, even like
really
the blue
crazy.
collar stuff. I know a couple of guys who started their own landscaping companies and have like fucking like warehouses and garage and fucking
Yeah.
staff. Like
Massachusetts is like smart. It's a smart state.
Overall, yeah.
So even like our fucking like who would be considered like fucking rednecky yokels, like some places,
yeah.
like, dude, you take some fucking like hillbilly from like fucking Arkansas, put him up against one of our fucking hillbillies
Oh, dude.
in an engineering
Dude, I love
in an
this.
engineering competition.
We're coming
Or
for
whatever,
Arkansas,
you know what I mean?
bro.
Be like,
If you-
hey, your guys are gonna both go into the woods. See who dies first. The New England dude, you're gonna come back. He's gonna have settled a fucking town. The dude from Arkansas would be dead from. He would have made moonshine once and fucking drank himself to death.
Dude, here's the
This
deal.
dude would have settled a new fucking state.
You just hit,
shit.
dude. Our fucking thing on Instagram is Coastal Elitist Podcast. We've embraced
Dude, I'm
that. You
telling-
just
yo,
embraced it without us.
I
without
will.
even
I
telling
know.
you.
I
That
know
was
we're
great.
not that far from the beach, but yeah, dude, I've been
Well,
in
Massachusetts
almost
is a
every
coastal
fucking
state.
state. I'm a coastal elite, dude.
Oh, you gotta be.
there you
You
go.
gotta be. I hate to say it. Like you said,
There's no way I'm not.
we're not saying all
My
people in
mom was a
Arkansas are
banker,
dumb.
bro. Of course I'm a coastal elite. I own a hipster bar. Come on now. All the trash here is all our trashiness is ironic. You know what I mean?
It's a bit. Ever
a
heard of
fucking bit,
Ever
dude.
heard of
Probably
it?
gotta get going, right?
No, I
Oh,
got
my
a couple
God.
minutes.
All right, nice.
That's
nice.
mad funny.
Yeah, we are coastal elites. I'll embrace
Dude, we're
that.
clipping this, dude. Broke up, you missed it. We just got the biggest coastal elite clip of all time, dude. Aaron would have loved this, dude. Once Aaron gets freed from Irish customs, dude, he will love this bit.
Ireland, that's all coast, man.
Is that
Free,
true?
free
Is that
Aaron.
true?
That's the only thing better than
Yeah,
being
yeah,
a
he's in
coastal elite
customs
is
in
being an
Ireland, so, yeah.
island elite.
Why?
I'm gonna enjoy watching that
They're
back.
confused why he keeps coming back. They don't believe
When I
his
edit.
girlfriend over there or something. I don't know. He's in customs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, free Aaron, dude. Free Aaron.
Wow.
He's gonna be like that guy on.
He's getting so much
He's Irish
forever.
Britney
Dude.
Grinder right now, dude.
What's-
Find
dude.
him. You need to free him, dude.
This dude is getting so much Irish pussy that
I
the
don't know why
government
every
is
time a Brittany Griner
concerned,
article
bro.
pops up,
They're like,
I
why?
decide
Because
to
everyone
Give it up for
leaves.
this guy, bro.
Everyone
Fuck.
leaves Ireland. They don't make. It doesn't make sense. So like, why is somebody this age coming back? They're like, they don't
Ireland,
go.
How
I
old
went
is he?
Trying to
Dublin, It was
infiltrate.
pretty okay.
No, I
got
love
it.
Dublin.
It had like a cool,
I
fucking
hate to say
vibe to it.
I like Dublin better than Amsterdam, to be honest with you. I liked the weed thing in
Okay.
Amsterdam, but if I'm gonna like revisit a European city out of Amsterdam and Dublin, I'm gonna go to Dublin 100%. I loved Dublin. It was great.
How's the weed culture in Dublin?
It was. I didn't smoke any weed that trip. Only drinking.
Weed in the UK, not as
It
prominent.
was mid. I
Really?
smoked
Yeah.
one spliff the whole week, and it was the most mid
Yeah.
shit. And
They're
they're like,
more-
oh, it's from Amsterdam.
The
I'm like,
UK
no, it
is
isn't.
still just vibing on cocaine super hard, and they don't have meth, but they have like weird other like club drugs that like we don't really have
Oh,
over
it's
here.
wild. Like even
yeah.
in Amsterdam, we walked by this like fucking
Yeah, they're doing, like, GBH
weird
and shit over
techno
there.
club,
Like, it's
and
crazy.
like looking at the people who came out, I'm like, oh, these are like European like punk rock. Like these people shouldn't be punk rock, but for some reason are. Like
Yeah.
these people are scary looking. I'm like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah, fuck that.
I played like
It was
squats
hard
and shit
techno,
that
and I was
like,
grilled. I'm like, I'm not fucking-
vibey like that. I played some places that like was kind of that ilk, like
Ilk.
drugged out like squatter style, and like
They stab people.
dude,
over there, man. I'm not
honestly,
about
it was always fucking dope.
I'm sure
I
it
think
was,
it's
but
just
I wasn't on the level. You know
it's
what I mean?
a
If you're gonna
different
jump in, you want to
brand
jump
of
in.
like sketchball
Yeah.
Like over here, like if you were in like you got to figure like that's like a major city, right? So you're just now like interacting with like the seedier like sort of individual that's in that city. But like if you go to New York and you like see like a crust punk on the street with a dog, you don't really think anything about it because you've seen like New York City crust punk all the time. But they're just like drunk, drinking a Colt 45 and whatever. And then you go over there, it's just recontextualized. It seems scarier, you know? And it's hard as an American to tell
Well, because I don't go to
who
clubs
the
like that
actual
here.
dangerous people are and who the not dangerous people are when you're like traveling like that because it's just like a different setup. You know what I mean?
I that's why I liked Dublin first off because it was
Everybody's
easier.
white. No, I get
No,
it.
it's not even. No. Dublin's not white. I went St. Patrick's Day, so it was like mad.
fucked up.
It was mad people.
No, it was a stupid
No,
joke,
I was
right?
saying like but like, dude, the guys who walked around like Conor McGregor, like swinging their arms, and
Oh, boy.
I was like, oh yeah, that guy, no. And then the guys,
That's no good, yeah.
You get the tracksuits.
Tracksuit, dude,
a little
dude.
scorpion tattoo up of the neck.
Aren't
and they have
those,
the
like,
bowl cut, and you're like, oh, this guy.
Those are
likes-
like
this
Europe,
guy's
Eastern
fucked.
European guys, though. The
Oh, no,
tracksuit
but
guys,
they do
right?
it in
Or
the
they
UK
like they have
now.
like a UK like sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
fucking
And
chav.
then-
What do they call that?
They got the bowl cuts, dude. For no one knows a fade over there. My buddy went over there. And he's like, dude, why does
Straight
no one know how
lines
to fade?
only.
Yeah, dude, it's like straight up like.
Joink.
They look like fucking goofballs, dude. It's so funny. Europeans are the goofiest people.
I
on the
mean,
planet.
tracksuit.
Like I went over there, dude. I make fun of America when we're here. We're very critical of like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
the U.S.
yeah.
does on the podcast normally when we're talking like just us. But when you go abroad, dude, immediately I'm like, oh my god, these people are the fucking worst.
Well, they're like the
Europeans are
old model,
worst.
dude. You know what I
They are
mean?
the-
Like they're the old.
They're also bad
first
guys.
fucking. They're like the last. They're like the first
Last
edition white
batch.
people. You know what I mean? Like we're the
Yeah.
updated
They were the
version. They're
problem.
still fucking chilling. These people, they like. Oh, my grandfather went. My great fucking like 7 generations all went to this fucking high school, and
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
85 generations before that
It's
fucking
so
all did that.
weird.
And like
they're
nobody
so
that I
elite.
know is related to anybody that's been here longer than like fucking 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we met these
new.
Australians, and they were like talking shit about America. They're like, yeah, it's crazy that you guys have like rights. Like they said that, and I was like, what?
Who said
and
that?
they're like, you have like a Bill of Rights. Australian people. They're like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so weird that Americans like think they're entitled to like rights, like free speech and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
you guys are.
Australia,
I'm like, you guys. Are, I
Whoa.
literally said to them, I'm like, you guys are like criminals though.
They went
And I
pretty
think you need
ham bone
structure.
on like COVID stuff over there. I
Oh,
think.
they're wild,
They were like
dude.
really strict on it. And then also, didn't Australia just like
Nar.
there was like one mass shooting and they just like
Took all the guns
literally
away.
Was like, nah, fuck it. And the military just like took everybody's gun away. Not that like I would not do that here if I wouldn't just cause fucking ultimately probably World War III in
Yeah,
some
you wouldn't-
capacity.
you
but
can't
if
do
not,
it. You can't do
You
it,
just
I'm
can't
sorry,
do it.
but yeah.
And I'm like,
You have to embrace
would
it. You
I
can't
if
do
it was possible? Maybe, but do I think it's ever gonna happen? No.
Well, you live in a good
but
state. Like,
it is
it's the same,
crazy
yeah.
that they could do that.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
They have like 5 rights.
To
I'm like,
me,
what are
as-
they? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, what?
I mean, they have public health care. I would
Yeah, but
trade
they
public
pay
health
so
care
much
for guns
taxes.
all day, dude.
They pay so many taxes.
I
though,
will
dude.
say
Yeah,
this.
but
It's
there's your everything.
It evens out.
It all evens out
They also are-
anyways.
they
though, you
also
know what
are-
I mean?
yeah,
Like that's
it's
how
true.
the fucking capitalism works. It's all the same pool of money.
That's why-
and you
yeah.
got less. It's just like it's just
Dude.
it's all the same fucking thing.
And they say ridiculous stuff, dude. Like just the goofiest people, dude.
These
Dude.
fucking
Dude, and they
bogans,
kept
dude.
on saying they were saying no, like we say no. I'm like, you're not saying no, like we said no. They're like, no.
Oh yeah, they say like they put
it's
R's on
terrible.
the end.
It's-
Nair, yeah.
And then I talked to this British guy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm like, where should I go in England?" And he's like, he named every city basically to not go to. He's like, "Come to my small little village, like in northern England." I'm like, "I'm all set, dude." Like,
Yeah.
he's like, London, terrible. He's like, Liverpool, terrible. Manchester. I'm like, that's like all the big ones, right?
Terrible.
Like,
Well, I guess I would just go to London, right?
I heard
I've
it's-
never been.
I heard London's nice.
I had a fucking layover in Heathrow.
Is that London?
Yeah, it's like outside London, but I had like a 14-hour layover, so I
Yeah.
like took a bus to a hotel near the airport and then took the same bus back.
Oh, so it was just boom, boom.
Yeah, but the dude driving the bus had a British accent and shit, so it sounded like it felt like I was there for a minute.
Counts. You were there.
It counted, yeah. He
You
was
got
like,
out of the
"Hello,
airport."
mate. Oh, bus come back every half hour, mate." You know, or whatever. I can't even do a British accent right now, but.
Dude, they're terrible.
So I got the experience, basically I'm like.
you got everything you need.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
was like this close to being the new king, basically. Is what I'm trying to tell you. It would have been fire.
See,
Nice,
I'm
nice.
still getting.
I wouldn't even close the bar, dude. If they made me the king of England,
You shouldn't.
I would leave the bar open.
It'd be royalty.
I know that's crazy, but
You should put the crown up on the fucking wall. That'd be dope. I'm still getting
I
hate
would do
comments
that.
from British people from fucking a video I made 2 months ago making fun of them.
Oh, nice.
They're wild. And I asked the Australian people, I'm like, would you be insulted if I called you Kangaroo Jack? And they were like, no. So my TikTok, put it back up, please. Anyways. But they didn't know what Kangaroo Jack was. I'm like, he's like a fucking kangaroo who like fights crime and shit. Or like,
Oh yeah, for them it's like it's like, oh, look at this guy, the fucking a Batman or fucking like.
Yeah, they have a kangaroo that fights crime with his
I
foot.
mean,
I
it's a
don't think
pretty
they have
unique animal. Like,
kangaroo
it would be
jack.
hard to avoid
I think
it
that's an
being
American
like widely
thing.
discussed.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, guys, like if you're offended by the kangaroo shit, if you're
You get over
Australian,
it.
like just understand, like nobody else has that.
No one.
They're
It's
the
cool.
weirdest animals.
Yeah.
Dude.
They're
so
fucking
ripped.
weird, dude. They're really
ripped.
unique,
They're
man.
like fucking crazy.
You,
They
you
kick
know,
people.
like it's an interesting animal. Like I'm sorry, you
a
know
pouch.
that. You can look online and shit.
We call New Zealanders Kiwis, guys.
because of the bird.
Yeah.
Because of just one bird that they had, you know?
That's it.
It's a
Get
wacky
over it.
bird.
Nah, I've never been to Australia.
What
dude.
would
That
the
seems
American
tight.
animal be?
It's
Is it
such a
just
long
an eagle?
flight, dude. That's like.
I guess
it's
so.
like
I
a
mean, I
24
guess a
hour
bald
flight.
eagle, but it's kind of a bogus.
Oh,
fucking,
Yeah.
Grizzly
I
bear.
got it.
It was supposed to be a wild turkey.
Turkey. Yeah. No, like I would
Benjamin
say I would
Franklin wanted it
just
'cause it was
because
bald.
it's like a turkey is like a slight at white people as well.
What's like the coolest animal that we have, though?
Grizzly
That's like
bear,
everywhere.
mountain
That's
lion.
everywhere.
Yeah, those
Mountain
are
lions are in a lot of
cougars.
places. Cougars.
They're almost everywhere. I mean,
Those are sick, dude. Those things are.
squirrels.
I think Russia has
Squirrels
bears.
are weird.
Squirrels are everywhere, dude. That should be our fucking
People say
national
birds
bird.
aren't real. Hot take. Squirrels aren't real, dude. If you go in the city, they're like hopping around, like do 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 do. I'm like, that's not it.
I think
Well, Westfield has some crazy squirrels.
we
bro.
have Westfield has
You guys-
most of the
City squirrels
black
are
in
the
Westfield.
best.
All
They
black
are
squirrels.
That
crazy.
sounds like a
Squirrels.
joke, but
Aren't
it's
those-
all
No,
the squirrels
yeah.
are black in Westfield.
Aren't those the ones that tear apart houses, or is
They
that the
fuck
red
shit
squirrel?
up. Yeah, because this dude literally like was it a French guy?
Yeah.
A dude that was like a college professor at fuck it.
Is
this
the
is the
origin
story I was told.
Okay, bring it. I
Oh,
never
and he
heard
dropped
this.
it? He's
I never
dropped
heard
it?
this.
He was like French. He was a college professor at Westfield State,
Yeah.
and he was French, and he had a tree imported from France from his yard,
Okay.
and it had a fucking nest of black squirrels in it,
Oh shit.
and they're like mad voracious and
Yeah.
like fucking like just randy as shit, dude.
Yeah.
And they just fucking just completely decimate, like out fucking grew the standard population, and then they crossbreed, and I think it's like it must be like a dominant gene or whatever.
Yeah.
So just most, I would say 90% of the squirrels in Westfield are fucking jet black.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
And it
have to look
basically
around.
stops
Yeah.
at the edge of Westfield and goes back in every other surrounding town, and I
All
don't
the
know
other
why or
squirrels
how
don't
that's
want to fuck
possible.
with those.
I don't either.
It's
It-
fucking
dude,
weird, man.
Do you guys
Yeah.
get the gypsy moths out here?
We have not gotten gypsy
Dude,
moths
those
yet.
things. It's like every
They're like
7
that
years.
Asian
I
new
had
one?
them like a couple nights
this guy
ago, and it
brought
was
him to,
freezing.
This guy brought
shit.
him to his house in like Waltham or something like that. And he's like, oh, they make like a silk-like substance. And they got out, and
Oh, yeah.
nothing ate them. And
Yeah.
they destroy tree. Like
We used to
three
get them in
trees
my
yard
neighborhood when I was a
died
kid.
from
They
them.
used to spray for them every year.
Nothing ate him.
Nothing, but they started to at the end. But one year it got so bad, I
They
did
were
really bad
everywhere.
in college. So my dad made me help like this guy build a patio in my backyard. It was miserable. I had to move the bricks and shit, but they were fucking raining from the trees, dude. And you'd have to like scrape them up and burn them. They were like shovelfuls of these like moth things falling on your head.
You couldn't catch them as a caterpillar? dude?
Well, they were caterpillars, but
Oh,
they
that's
Yeah, they were
once
Oh,
everywhere.
once they came out of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like this. I know what you're talking about. Yes, it was
and
gnarly.
they give you a rash. So I like
Yeah.
the whole summer was getting up at like 6 a.m. building this fucking
Yeah.
patio and then going to work and come back building the patio.
There's like a new one. Dude. It's called like a Chinese lantern fly. I think
I
it's
did better in
called. That's
school
like
after that.
that's starting to show up and like fuck shit up.
Oh
dude.
shit.
Invasive species are wild. There used to be this
They're wild.
sushi bar
Yeah.
in New Haven. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called. And they specialized in like most of their menu was all invasive species, dude.
Like the sea creatures, like the
Yeah,
what
sea
are the
creatures,
crabs?
Freshwater. They
Not
would
the
do a
green-
lot of like
spider
baked.
crabs.
They would do a lot of like cooked, like sushi format, but the fish was cooked because it'd be like a freshwater thing you can't eat raw.
Ew.
But yeah, their whole menu is focused on invasive species. dude.
Like
I
puffer
hate
fish.
freshwater fish. I don't like eating them.
Some of it's like fucking kind of gnarly. It depends on the freshwater. You know, it gets like fucking muddy tasting. You know, sometimes you get a funky
You get-
trout.
yeah,
Ain't
you-
no good.
Funky
you
trout.
It tastes like the water was in.
Band
Yeah.
name.
Trout
Yeah,
smoked be
exactly.
nice
Band name.
though.
I feel like that is a
Funky
band.
trout.
I bet.
Funky trout.
Funky
Get
trout?
back a funky
Dude,
trout.
look at that.
That
That's the
is-
creative mind of it. Is that a little you popping out of your hoodie over there? Out of the belt?
Oh yeah,
Little Buddha.
peekaboo.
Peekaboo's Buddha Joe, dude.
All right, boys.
It's not
Listen, I got to open this restaurant in like 23 minutes.
Dude.
But I already mopped, so I'm ahead of the game. It's not a big deal. But it does mean that I have to depart this
Buddha Joe
podcast.
I will ask you one question because you talk about eating booty hole all the time.
I have.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus
evolving,
Christmas.
though.
You are?
I did a 30-minute set a couple weeks ago. Didn't mention eating ass one time,
Dude,
baby.
fuck
Is it
yeah,
gone?
dude.
Oh, thank God.
That's it. I've
No,
arrived.
dude,
Turn me on
my
too
question is,
much.
when did you eat your first butthole? When did you pop your butthole cherry?
Oh wow, interesting.
Because that's a tough one to
Probably-
pop. I feel
have
like
to
that's like a mental break you have to get by.
I don't know. Not for me. Maybe it was just like maybe it's
I'm vanilla.
Yeah, I was-
I'm the
my
king of
my
missionary.
DNA, bro.
I was
you know?
drawn to it.
Like
You were
just
drawn
gotta-
to the butthole?
Yeah, man.
I did it.
Interesting.
I don't know
Right,
when, but I'm
so-
saying as soon as possible.
Really?
Probably-
Wow.
My first butthole was probably late teens, probably like
Oh, so early.
18, 19.
Yeah, I would say
You know what
19.
I'm saying? Because you
I had to drink booze legally before I tried to lick my first bottle.
well,
Wow.
I went to the military at 17, and I was in Iraq at 18. So like,
Did you
you
lick
know,
buttholes
I was on an
there?
expedited schedule.
A little
You
bit,
grew up-
so
he
I
had to
figured,
grow
did
up
you lick butthole-
fast.
did
Oh, you
lick
know
butthole
what?
Over there?
I wonder if the correlation between me coming back from Iraq and eating my first ass to just trauma dump.
Probably.
You know?
Trauma dump.
Get it?
Trauma
Oh,
dump, dude.
another band name, bro. I'm sorry.
Trauma Dump would actually be a good podcast.
Check that.
You just
Check
bring
it
in
as a band.
comedians to talk about why they're so fucking stupid.
Oh my god, that is so funny, dude.
Oh shit.
I guess that's every comedian's podcast, actually. It just devolves into them being like,
Yeah.
well, you know,
Yeah, I know.
You know,
when I was a
Trauma
kid,
dump.
I moved around a lot. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. Sorry to trauma dump on you guys all the time.
That's all right.
Fair enough.
Well, that's mad funny. Did you eat butthole in Iraq?
No, but whole free zone.
I was gonna say I was in it. That's an
No
interesting one.
donuts in Iraq.
Oh man, that's no. The room I lived in with like 30 dudes, like cinder
You're getting
block room,
butthole
plywood
there, yeah.
doors, smelled like onions and ass, and there's no females. I looked.
Hold on, one. I just want to. We might as well bring it up. Well, I was gonna ask you about it afterward. Did you watch SNL over the weekend,
No.
dude? If you haven't watched SNL, this is a plea to everybody because I know SNL is considered like the least cool thing in the world,
Yeah.
and I know Dave Chappelle's like catching heat for his monologue, which like certainly does have, in my opinion, problematic aspects, but it's not like the end of the world. We'll be fine. There is this one sketch where it's Dave Chappelle and he's like a blues musician on like a Saturday morning TV show. And he's promoting his new album and it's called My Potato Hole.
Oh shit.
And the entire staff just keeps making jokes about what potato hole means like the entire time. They're just like, they're like joking around about it. And finally they're like, what does potato hole mean? And he's like, it's a hole you would dig to hide your possessions from your slave master. No, everybody's just like, dude, it is so funny. That whole episode was super good. If you haven't watched SNL in a long time,
I haven't watched it in a long
problematic
time.
monologue aside, which again,
Yeah.
somebody else can talk about it. I don't know. Somebody else handle that.
Aaron, our
But-
resident, can't help, so
Yeah.
he's not here today.
But
Free Aaron.
watch the rest of the episode. It's SNL's doing really well right now. That's what I will say. Not that SNL needs promotion, but
I'll check it out.
I just
SNL
really like
I
it, and
only
it came up.
I only focus per the who the host is because that's how you know it's going to be.
Yeah, but the
interesting.
the current cast is really, really, really good. There's like 3 or 4 new people who are like kind of, I think, going to be like pretty huge people on that show for a
I'll
long
have to go
time.
back in because
it's their first
they
season.
turned me away for a while.
Check it out again.
Did you hear the about the guy on TikTok who was like, put me on SNL, and he made like songs, and the internet bullied him for like 3 weeks. And this guy has been off the grid since, and he sings at Disney World, dude, and they didn't get him on SNL because everyone was like, if he comes on SNL, I'll kill myself. Like, that's what it devolves to. And this guy posted videos weekly for years, has stopped. Internet, fuck
Where
you.
is he?
He works at Disneyland now. People
I'm
will show
going
up at
in
work and,
January.
like, videotape
Wait,
him.
Land? Is that which one's in Florida?
World.
Fuck, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Florida one
Orlando.
with my entire family.
That's going to be fun.
Wife, kids, mom, brother, his kid.
Nice.
That's going to be a
Wife.
stress-free trip at Disney World.
Oh, dude, you know what? It's actually going to be pretty lit, I think.
Nice.
It's really well planned out. My mom hired a travel agent. Did you know that was still a thing?
Like
Yeah.
AAA and
No,
shit?
that's-
I didn't know.
I don't
like,
know where
they-
the fuck you even find one, dude. But my
Expedia.
mom has this lady. She was getting up at 6 a.m. to make us dinner reservations and all this shit. It's fucking crazy.
Good for her.
My mom's a saint,
great.
dude. I don't know how fucking much money she is spending on this scenario. I'm like, this is
Nice,
psychotic.
This is psychotic.
It's going to be awesome, though. But I think it's going to be pretty stress-free, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
My only worry is that I have to somehow smuggle 10 days worth of pot to Florida.
You could probably find it down there.
No, you
But
can
I have
find
a
it down
medical
there.
card, and I
you can find it.
believe it's they take a out-of-state license. Oh,
nice.
this is my my sole employee that's on tonight calling. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you for coming.
Kevin signing
So,
off.
Buddha, what do you got going on, dude? Anything? Well, this will come out Wednesday of next week. So, do you got
This
anything
is the
coming
Thanksgiving episode, actually.
Wednesday of next week. So no, this will be coming out on the. We're having an open mic. Usually is on Thursdays. Wednesday we're doing a showcase
Fuck
from
yeah.
8 to 9:30, and then at 10 o'clock we're doing a late night mic.
on? Look at you, man.
So
Fuck
day
yeah.
before Thanksgiving we're doing a fucking double decker, and it's gonna be a double dip too, because Maverick's doing his mic on Wednesdays, and people come through here.
Awesome.
I got a bunch of shows coming up. BuddhaJoeComedy.com.
Check
so
them out.
Thank you.
Dude,
We'll link
fuck
that.
yeah, Buddha. Dude, great to talk with you again. Great to talk with Kev. Thank you for having us. Come out to the Nook, dude. If you have time. You're in Boston. We said it's an hour and a half away. Drive out here. See a comedy show. See a band. Get a sandwich.
Yeah, man.
We got plenty
For
of
sure.
people. I bet we can get people in the Westfield scene. I know I have people who went to school here and have friends who are still out here. So it's probably
It's a
like
good-
they
we're-
probably know. I know people who've. I told this to my brother. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah. I'm down. I go to what's a bar down the street?
I don't know, rallies.
Yeah." He brought up
yeah.
like he was like, "Oh, it's by Rallies."
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was
yeah.
like, yeah.
So I think the cool thing is like we have people coming from Rhode Island, from Worcester, from Boston area. We have people from Waterbury, Bridgeport
No way.
who
Yeah.
come here. 20, 25, 30 comedians a week. Sometimes, give or take a little bit more or less. And the cool thing is the audience that comes through, man. Because not only is it a live room with like a decent amount of audience members, which is great for a comedian. We're at an open mic. We want feedback. It's great for the audience members, right? And then not only that, we're supporting a local business, and it's just there's levels to it, man. But definitely Thursday nights are probably one of the best nights here, and in addition to the shows, of course. So tonight's gonna be a banger.
Nice.
So.
Excited for that. Yeah, and dude, the Thursdays my suspension in my car is all fucked up. That's half the reason I'm
Oh yeah, no worries,
I've
man.
been trying to
I
come
had to
here
drive
in
him
Worcester.
out here.
Like I haven't been to Worcester in a bit, but I'm glad to. It's always great to come here. Dude, the mics in Boston are so different, man. That's the one thing. Like I haven't found a place that's kind of been like this, where you, like you said, you get like audience members. A lot of the time,
It's a Western
just
Mass thing. Because
comics.
people have to drive
Yeah.
to find a good place, and when you find a good place, you know where it is.
Well, I guess so, man. I mean, there's a lot of people in the area. I hear Maverick has a good mic going on, and I've been there a few times, and it's pretty dope. I hear that's growing too. So, and there's different people putting on new shows and new mics, which is great. I know different people run it differently. I hear Connecticut, kind of like cliquish at times or whatever. I don't know.
I haven't been there in a bit. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you were a Connecticut comedian at
I
first.
was, but I moved. I'm back.
Oh, and you
I'm
moved,
back.
yeah.
Last like 3 months I've been home.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I've been still doing stuff. I do stuff in Cambridge, Quincy,
Gotcha.
Boston. I do like.
And even
3
there,
events,
it's
too.
like just only
It's
comedians.
just tough because I like the problem is I'm working 2 jobs right now. I was doing it to save up, and then
Yeah.
so I work from 7 to 9, and then from 9 to 5:30 ish, and then I drive up to Boston. I'll do a mic, then I'll see my girlfriend if I can, in Cambridge, and then I'll come home. I'm getting home at like 1, so it's like I'm getting
tough.
fucking drained. So I don't hang out after mics. Like when I was here, I would always hang out for like most of the night until it got late,
Oh,
and then I
yeah,
could
yeah,
leave.
yeah.
But now that I'm getting up so early, I don't hang out. So like I don't know the scene as well. Like I'm definitely taking a lot longer to adjust out there because like I'm doing the mics. I'm still going out and practicing and stuff like that, but I'm not like super involved with the people yet. Like here, I would talk to
Gotcha.
people. Like obviously, it helped with the podcast. I would have people. We would have people on the podcast. It was easy. Like I haven't really found people up there to like, oh, I'll come on my podcast that I've like talked to enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough, man. I think the cool thing that, like, it's still something we're continuing to grow and cultivate, but the collaboration between Kevin and I, like, and the other partners, like, as far as being aligned, it just we're on the same level. Like, hey, you want to do this cool thing, and like see how it goes, and never get rich, but have fun and maybe pay our bills. Okay. You
That's
know?
the goal, right?
Also, you guys are
That's the
building
goal.
like a brand, like a brand, and like you've always said to me when we've had you on the quick chat and stuff. You said like you build a community here. It is true. Like here is one of the most like collaborative places I felt in comedy because it's like you could go out there and you were talking to people before you were smoking. Like Vince like pitched the like mini golf idea to me that we did like here, like because people always hang out here, they chill, they talk.
Yeah.
Like and it's tough at other mics to do that. I feel like so that's also like a big benefit of here. I feel like. And it's like the community, like you said, like people come here, they support it. Like this is a really unique place, and you guys, and the fact that you guys have the creative flexibility, you're not trying to get rich, you're trying to build something, and that's
Let's try some shit. Boom.
Yeah,
All right, we'll see
dude.
what happens. Didn't work. Okay, let's do it again. But now different, or do something different. You know,
yeah,
which is great, man.
Yeah. It's unique. It's
You
and
need
it's really
spaces
special, dude.
for
Yeah,
that.
like that's why it's been great. We really appreciate you always taking the time to come and do this because, dude, I really respect as a new comedian. I've always felt like really that I've loved. This is my favorite place, like I've said. So
I appreciate that, man. And I'll tell you a secret. I'm also a new comedian, bro. Like 3 years in, I don't know what I'm just winging it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
it's
too
so
far
weird,
into
man.
comedy, but like life experience. I'm 38, so military and all, and
Anyone can
I don't-
talk. It's about how you like portray it to people, and that's what. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, man. A couple people are like, dude, you're such an inspiration. I want to do the same thing. I want to quit my job and go all in. And I'm like, don't, please.
Don't blame me.
No,
Don't come
no.
at me.
I'm pulling up my bank account on my phone. I'm like, dude, no, don't do it. It's been tough, man. I had to sell my car.
Oh, this sucks.
My girl and I we're sharing a car right now. It's been tough. This shit has brought me to tears sometimes, But I'm doing photography. I make my own gear, my own hat. I'm versatile in that way. So not all my money is coming from comedy, but I fucking love it, man. I'm not doing anything else. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. I don't want to get rich. I don't want it, but like, if we can have interactions with this, man, build a community. There will be people who come to the Nook, who will go on to do bigger and better things in comedy, whatever that definition means to them or to you. And this is the best. This is going to be, it already is one of the best comedy clubs that no one knows about yet. So I look forward to seeing people who come through here, start here and then move on, man. So, and the Thursday night mics, man, I have to say, my team members, my road dogs, my soldiers on my left and my right, C.W. Davis and DJ Cause and Effect, right? Because without those guys, man, they bring such a level of quality to this mic that helps me. Like, I wouldn't be able to do the Thursdays with, what we do without them. So, shout out to them.
Dude, the production's dope. The music and stuff, it adds like a really cool energy to it. That like it makes it feel real. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, I feel like when you're doing stand up and you're at like a bar and you're standing on the ground, like ground level, you're talking to people and like you try to take something a little more like adventurous, like try to make it like a kind of out there joke.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I'm like a lunatic right now. Like it's hard to bring that like confidence to it because you're like, dude, I'm talking to only comics in this bar on a Monday night, and it's like, oh my god. But like when you come here, you get the music, everyone like it feels like a show, which I think really helps because it's like, oh, this is the environment is I'm telling you jokes.
Yeah, and you know what? I believe that because we have this separate room back here, right? Kevin built this stage, I think, a couple years ago, and with the music and whatnot, and also with requests, you have until 8 p.m. to put your song, intro, outro song, when you sign up. But it's just really amazing. I think last couple of weeks, we've had like 20, 30 comedians and about the same audience members. So
That's a good ratio. Like
Oh yeah, like standing room only.
Because that means like everyone's bringing a person out, and that's good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good for the venue. Like that's good for that's good for the comedians. It's a full room. There's people who want to be there.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. That's great, man.
And it's helpful having that like relationship, like you said, that you have with like Kev, being able to kind of have that flexibility and like being able to help each other like that. That's like a really, really great thing. So it's great to see people who and businesses who support local comedy. Support local comedy, yeah.
Boom, yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Dude, shout out to Buddha.
Breweries.
We'll plug CW and stuff. And yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for coming on, dude. This was fucking great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We got stuff coming out, YouTube and stuff. Be ready. Pro Cop streaming. Check him out. I'm getting an Xbox soon. It's not on my priority list. Sorry. Pro Cop is streaming. He'll stream with Joe. But thanks for watching. Peace.